Hi, everybody. Happy day after Thanksgiving to you, and welcome to VypeFortBend.com coverage of the third round of the playoffs. It's Friday afternoon. Feels like Saturday. It always does the day after Thanksgiving. And we have your Marshall Buffs taking on the Lake Creek Lions. These are two teams that have never met before. Roger Smith with you, along with Patrick Kinnick, who will bring you the play-by-play. Patrick, the most important thing right now is, how was dinner for you yesterday?
I was just going to say, the players have to make sure it has settled in for them to play effectively today. For me, it was great. I only had one helping. Normally I have two, but I did nibble throughout the day. How about you?
Yes, I think that you and I both, as we get kind of older, we talk to doctors more often, and it just makes you discipline yourself out of fear. Yes. Of leaving the planet sooner than you planned.
Well, or I think our stomach gets smaller or something. I don't know. I don't have the craving like I used to, but it's still good stuff, and I think you had a good day yesterday. You look like you're bright-eyed and ready to go today.
Yes, and, I love my family. It was great being with them for hours and hours and hours, but I'm ready to come out to a football stadium and enjoy a playoff game.
Yes, indeed.
All right, so we got the Marshall Buffs taking on the Lake Creek Lions, and we'll be back shortly with the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show. This exclusive VypeFortBend.com playoff presentation is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity Mobile, the best-kept secret in wireless. By First Tire and Auto, 4 great Fort Bend County locations where you can get the best prices on tires, plus anything else that your vehicle needs to run at its very best. And you can check them out at firsttireandauto.com. Again, 4 great Fort Bend County locations. By Next Level Urgent Care, more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugar Land, Sienna, Longmeadow, Greatwood, and 4 of them in Katy. From OW to WOW, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. By Archer Volkswagen, open since 1956 and ready to serve you. Archer Volkswagen is on Highway 59 South, just inside the Sam Houston Tollway, and you will feel like family at Archer Volkswagen. By the Needville Insurance Agency, you can put hundreds, if not thousands of dollars back in your pocket when the Needville Insurance Agency team shops all those insurance carriers, and they will find the lowest rate for car, home, and flood insurance. Call Bradley Stavanaugh at 979-793-7411. or click needvilleinsurance.com. And Equitable Advisors. It's never too early or too late to get with Nick Arevalo and Equitable Advisors to create a smooth, soft landing into a wonderfully comfortable retirement. Check out Equitable Advisors. We'll be back with Pat Kennedy, the head coach of Lake Creek, on our Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show right after this. Equitable Advisors financial professionals know the path to a fulfilling future begins with getting to know who you are and what matters to you most. They work with people as individuals. That's how they deliver on their mission, just like Nick Arevalo, CFP. Talk to your local Equitable Advisor financial professional at 281-712-8777 or visit nickarevalo.com. That's NICKAREVALO.com. Together, you and my friend Nick can plan a future that reflects all of who you are. Equitable Advisors, LLC, New York, New York, member FINRA SIPC, investment advisory through Equitable Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. CFP is a certification mark owned by the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards, Incorporated. This mark is awarded to individuals who successfully complete the CFP Board's initial and ongoing certification requirements. Good day after Thanksgiving to you, everybody. This is the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show and the first of our doubleheader of football games on VypeFortBend.com. The Lake Creek Lions taking on the Marshall Buffs. It's time to visit with Pat Kennedy, head coach of the Lake Creek Lions. And can you give us a quick summary of the way your team has performed in the 2 games in the playoffs thus far?
Our kids have played great in the last 2 games. They've come out and they've been on spot, and we've run the ball well, and we played pretty good defense, and here we are.
I'm very familiar with the area. I grew up in Montgomery County, although the south end of it long time ago, and most of it was wilderness. Lake Creek, it seems to me, is just a fantastic place to be. It's got thriving athletic programs already in the 5th year that you've been open, and this year's seniors, I believe, have been in school for 4 years, the entire time.
Yes.
So how would you describe as far as attractiveness? You know, I'm sure you're very blessed to be at such a good place.
Well, I came from the Woodlands, and our biggest part of our kids come from Wood Forest and the areas around it. Our kids are competitive. Their parents are competitive. We got great administrators. We got a great administration. So, I mean, athletics is pretty easy when we got good support staff.
Well, we have something in common because I was an original Highlander. I played with Coach Schmidt on the very first varsity when it was McCullough.
Okay.
That was a long, long time ago during the Carter administration.
Right.
But let's talk about what your team needs to do to get the victory today, and what are the things about Marshall that most concern you?
Marshall's really athletic. Their front is probably the best defensive front we've played. If we can run the football today, we'll have a lot of success. I think that's what it comes down to, is being able to run the football and tackle them in space. So if we can do those things, we've got a chance.
So I guess that means that if this game ends by 3:15 p.m., that might be favorable to you. You know, maybe fewer plays, slow the game down, and possess the ball and play keep away.
We're not a slow down. We're going to go fast, and we're going to see what we can do. We're going to do what we do for the last 12 games. That's kind of what this is about. Let's see what they're going to do, what they do, and we're going to do what we do, and we'll see how it works out.
And Coach, there's one other thing I just wanted to point out, and it has nothing to do with the outcome of today's game, but I understand you have a player on your team with the same first, middle, and last name as you, and there's absolutely no relation whatsoever, and that just blows my mind. Did it blow your mind when you met the kid?
Well, his dad's also the same names too, so yes, it blows my mind. Great kid, great family. That is an odd story.
All right, we certainly appreciate you being with us, and I hope that we'll get at least a little bit of dry weather during today's game. I'm not real confident about that, but you know, both teams have to play in the slop if it becomes sloppy. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
All right, that is our visit with Pat Kennedy of Lake Creek. This is the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show, and we'll be back to visit with James Williams of the Marshall Buffs when we continue on VypeFortBend.com.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad. Grab my hand.
Wait, okay.
No, now up the stairs. We tried that last time. Run away. You can literally run through him.
It is that bad. Don't settle for just mobile. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $24.99 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and a free streaming box included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 12/21/22.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show. We're getting you ready for Marshall against Lake Creek. And here to introduce himself and the rest of the officiating crew for today is our referee.
Our referee is Ronnie Morgan. Umpire is Steve Alexander. Head linesman, Steve Jenkins. Line judge, Chip Hinkle. Side judge, Willie Denby. Field judge, Ronnie Morgan II. And back judge, Steve Zai. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Morgan. I appreciate that. Just all of your crew for being here, because you can't have a game without officials. And I don't know if you walked out of your house getting the withering look of disapproval from your wife like I did, but I'm still happy that I'm here.
Yes, same thing here. All right. Thank you.
All right. We'll be back and we'll visit with James Williams of your Marshall Buffs. They are ranked number 2 in the state by Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and pretty much that high by almost anybody that ranks Class 5A Division II teams. And also going for us today, we know that Argyle is ranked ahead of them. So that'll help the Buffs stay humble and hungry, if not humble and angry. We'll be right back with Coach Williams on VypeFortBend.com. We're your broadcast home for Fort Bend County High School sports. And also remember, we will be coming to you later today, 6:40 p.m., starting our broadcast of the game between Ridgepoint and Atascocita. And then hopefully more Fort Bend County High School football next week in the 4th round of the playoffs.
Next Level Urgent Care supports Fort Bend County sports and supports you whenever you're hurting. Next Level is here for the community, open 7 days a week, 9 till 9, for you and your family at more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugarland, Sienna, Greatwood, Longmeadow, and 4 in Katy. From ow to wow, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. And if you're short on time, Next Level has an app to get you in line right away. Just text NLUC APP to 313131 for Next Level Urgent Care.
Welcome back to the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show, and we've already visited with Pat Kennedy of Lake Creek and now James Williams of Marshall. Coach, whenever there's a neutral site playoff get-together, I'm always curious about how the site was chosen. Some districts and schools are anxious to offer their facilities, and some are not really in a position to. How did we end up here at Del Mar?
Well, first, thanks for covering us as always. Always good to see you here, especially in the third round of the playoffs. But this is a midway point between two schools, and we have a list of stadiums we tried to get, and this is the one that came available for us. And being blessed to practice the week of Thanksgiving and play a game the Friday after Thanksgiving at 1 o'clock is truly a blessing, and we're thankful to be here.
Well, for what it's worth, I really like this one. Open window, real close to the field. It's very, very good. The only thing is they don't have an elevator, but that's all right. I need the exercise anyway. Now, 2 years ago, same round, you played the Montgomery Bears, which is Big Brother, the original high school in the Montgomery ISD. Is there any similarity between that team you faced 2 years ago and the Lake Creek team now?
Oh yeah, there's definitely similarities. Well-coached team, physical, run the ball well, discipline program. So there's definitely similarities, and hopefully we can do our part to keep the score exactly what it was before and come out with a victory.
That was a big win for the Buffs, and as I watch your team in pregame, I don't get to watch the whole pregame routine every time, and I haven't been able to watch it that many times this year, but your guys seem very, very businesslike today. Is what I see what really is?
Absolutely. This is normal for us. These guys are well prepared. They're ready. They're motivated, and they're ready to play a physical game today. We're going to play our type of football today. Physical and disciplined football, and hopefully the game goes how we want it to go.
And by the way, you were nervous when I was talking to you the other day. You were wondering about rain, and I know that you have to be prepared as far as equipment, getting everything here that helps your players perform best they can. Do you talk to them about the possibility of that, or do you just kind of avoid it because you don't want them thinking about it, worrying about it?
No, we have to let them know. We have to prepare them for it. We had some practices in the rain this week as well, intentionally, because they have to be ready for it. And so far God is on our side, and He's holding off that rain to about 3:30, and that'd be great. But we're definitely prepared, and the guys they know the possibilities of it today.
All right. Well, when you are thanking God for a victory later today, you need to ask that He give us a little bit of shelter during the Ridge Point Atascocita game. That's an important one too. We would like to have 4 Fort Bend County teams marching on to the next round, including them and also Hightower and Fulshire.
Absolutely, that'd be great. Hopefully everybody plays their best today, and we can all get wins.
All right, thank you for being with us, and enjoy your day after Thanksgiving. And it's always fun to watch the Buffs, and I hope we're watching them several times more, all the way up until I believe it's the 16th of December.
That's correct, December 16th on Friday, but we'll take care today first, and like I said, God willing, things go our way and we can continue to play. Thank you so much for covering us.
No, you're very welcome. The pleasure is ours. I'll be back with Patrick Kinnick, and he'll bring you the play-by-play of the game between the Buffs and the Lake Creek Lions. Happy post-Thanksgiving to you, and you're at the right place. Not just now, but later on today. In fact, 6:40 p.m., we'll bring you the Countdown to Kickoff show preceding the Ridge Point game against Atascocita. Ridge Point will be going for revenge against Atascocita because it was the Eagles who knocked Ridge Point out of the playoffs in 2021. Glad you're with us on VypeFortBend.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
First Tire and Automotive heard you were starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $20 off brake pad service. Since you will be traveling more, check out the Back on the Road fluid check specials and tire specials. Yes, First Tire and Automotive has those too. Your holiday savings start now. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
Welcome back inside Del Mar Stadium here on, I guess it's the northwest corner of Loop 610 here in Houston. We got a cloudy day on our hands and rain in the forecast. Here come the Lake Creek Lions running out. Patrick Kinnick's going to do the play-by-play. And do you have any gut feeling on today's game?
Well, what you said earlier between you and me, you said you hope that Lake Creek will be surprised by the Marshall Buffaloes. And I'm sure they're prepared well, but I think Marshall has got something to say to them today, and I hope they're ready to roll.
Now, there is one thing that's for sure. Lake Creek comes out of a district that's very competitive. In fact, their big brother school in Montgomery ISD, the Montgomery Bears, quality program right there. So they play tough teams. It's not as if they have had an easy schedule in getting to a record of 12-0. But Marshall has played a much tougher schedule this year than they had the previous 5 years, 6 years actually.
Yeah.
And they played not only tougher district opponents, but they had a loss to Crosby early in the season. Crosby turned out to be a good team, not a great team, but Marshall, of course, has evolved, and I think they are really ready for this ball game here today.
Well, I think one of those years, a couple years ago, here come the Buffaloes with their 4 flags spelling Buff. Running down the field.
They are running down the field as one because it's Buff singular, not Buffs plural.
Right. Well, you had mentioned a time or two before, a couple years, that the Buffaloes just did not seem to have the proper competition to get them ready for the playoffs. And this year, you've been talking about it, and I think you're right about that. I think the competition is really going to help them, and today is going to be a great game.
And they had a Saturday game where they beat Port Neches Groves handily. Port Neches Groves came out of the district that Marshall is in as the 2nd seed.
And they just beat somebody, didn't
And they just beat somebody, and they are still alive.
Yeah,
so
that's
if
good.
Port Neches Groves is playing Brenham today, and if Port Neches Groves wins and Marshall wins here today, then the two teams will play each other again in the 4th round. We'll step aside and be back, and we'll bring you the opening kickoff of Lake Creek against Marshall. Equitable Advisors financial professionals know the path to a fulfilling future begins with getting to know who you are and what matters to you most. They work with people as individuals. That's how they deliver on their mission, just like Nick Arevalo, CFP. Talk to your local Equitable Advisor financial professional at 281-712-8777 or visit nickarevalo.com. That's NICKAREVALO.com. Together, you and my friend Nick can plan a future that reflects all of who you are. Equitable Advisors, LLC, New York, New York, member FINRA SIPC, investment advisory through Equitable Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. CFP is a certification mark owned by the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards, Incorporated. This mark is awarded to individuals who successfully complete the CFP Board's initial and ongoing certification requirements.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Football fans, you don't want to miss the UIL State Football Championship experience at Cowboy Stadium in Arlington in December. Come out for an action-packed 4 days, Wednesday the 14th through Saturday, December the 17th, and witness the best teams in each division battle it out in the final games of the season. Tickets and all tournament pass information can be found at uiltexas.org. Patrick, it would be great if we get to go and don't have to buy a ticket.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And the captains are heading out there for the ceremonial coin flip. Roger, do we have any captains you want to mention out there?
Let's just name the ones from Marshall.
Elijah Sims, number 7, is out there. Number 63, Mitchell, Beshwan Mitchell. Number 14, Larry Benton is out there, along with Joshua Lair. Those are your Marshall captains. And did you see who won the toss, Roger?
Yes, I did. Lake Creek won the toss, and the umpire is patting on. Actually, it's referee Ronnie Morgan telling us that Marshall won the toss, and going against the usual trend, they are not deferring. They want the football, and they will take it at the field house end. And when I say field house, Delmar Fieldhouse, we've been in there.
Yes.
It is ultra modern. It is very, very nice. We've been there for some basketball playoff heartbreaks, quite a few, I'm afraid. But now the Delmar Stadium is very adequate for our purposes, but it's not exactly state of the art.
No, but it's very nice, and I feel like our society should be accepting of such a place like this. We don't need all the bells and whistles. We just need a football field and a place to watch it. And the Buffaloes will receive the ball, as Roger said, toward the fieldhouse side, and Lake Creek is going to be kicking off. It's going to be Alex Abbott kicking off.
No relation to the governor as far as we know.
Yes. He's going to kick it off with the wind, a fairly strong wind blowing from left to right. The Buffaloes will be going into the wind to start the game. Banks is deep, along with number 22. It looks like William Mitchell. They're the two deep men.
By the way, 62 degrees at kickoff and probably going to get chillier as the day goes on.
An absolute beautiful day, in my opinion. Here's the kick. It is fielded, not fielded. It's over his head. Wow. Banks let it go over his head. It was about 7 yards deep into the end zone. With that wind, it wasn't a surprise that he kicked it deep into the end zone. And the Buffs will take it 1st and 10 on their own 25. And we're off and running, Roger. This is exciting. Hopefully the Buffaloes can play a great game and move on to the next round.
By the way, during the last 11 seasons, what I call the golden age of Marshall Buffs football, 6 different opponents have eliminated them from the playoffs, but none of those opponents are standing in the way now.
Quad's right. Snap to the quarterback, Davis, and he's going to wiggle his way for about a yard gain. It was kind of a slow developing play and a lot of traffic in there, and he was able to squeeze at least a yard out of that first play.
And Montgomery got a good solid push right up the middle, and I believe it was Caden Harmon who came straight ahead, and Jordan Davis kind of looked right, looked left, wasn't really sure, and he still got 2 yards out of it. They had put 4 trips receivers on the right side, and now they have the same thing.
They have 4 receivers to the right again. Man in motion, fake handoff. He keeps it again. 30, 35, 40, 50. Inside Lake Creek territory goes Jordan Davis. He faked a little jet sweep to the right, kept it, had a big opening to the left side, and he's all the way down to the Lake Creek, about the 40-yard line.
And that is the great value of Jacoby Banks. Wears number 1 for Marshall, and he's headed for the University of Houston. He is such a physical talent. If you fake it to him on the jet sweep, that is going to freeze the linebackers at least a little bit.
It sure did on that play.
The hole was open for Davis.
Trips right, 2 receivers to the left for Davis. Here comes Banks in motion again. Quick pass to the right, complete to the 40. 30, 25, 10. He's going to go all the way for a touchdown. It's Feast, Andre Feast, on the 3rd play of the game, Roger.
And on the
and
day
they're already
after
on the board.
The day after Thanksgiving, we have a feast yesterday, and we have a feast touchdown on the 2nd play of the game.
How about that? Big plays for the Buffaloes, and they're on the board in less than a minute. 75 yards, 3 plays. and culminates on a 40-yard pass from Davis to Feast. Here's the extra point attempt. It's coming from Diaz. The snap is good. The hold is down. The kick is good.
You said 3 plays, but wasn't it 2?
It was, first play was a 1-yard gain.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Okay,
but
so
the kick is good. It's 7-0 Buffaloes.
Thanks for straightening me out on that. So that Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive covered 75 yards. It took 55 seconds off the clock, and it culminated in the long pass to Andre Feast for a touchdown, and the Buffs lead it 7-0. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
First Tire and Automotive heard you were starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $20 off brake pad service. Since you will be traveling more, check out the back on the road fluid check specials and tire specials. Yes, First Tire and Automotive has those too. Your holiday savings start now. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
We're back here at Del Mar, where the Buffaloes in 55 seconds have a 7-0 lead already, and Miguel Diaz is kicking it off into the wind. It's a short kick, going to be fielded about the 27-yard line. He's going to try to make some yardage, and he gets a couple more yards to the 34. That is number 16, McGee. Brooks McGee elected not to call for the fair catch, as we see oftentimes on those short kicks. He's able to pick up about 7 yards on his little return there. And we got Rogers, a celebrity. Pictures being taken by one of the Buffalo fans out here that Roger knows all of these people very well, and they know him too. He's much loved throughout the district. Here's the handoff. It's not going to get much as the Buffaloes are there all over the play there, and it was Byers on the carry, but there were 3 or 4 Buffaloes that weren't allowing much to happen. 2nd down and 10 for Lake Creek. Handoff again. Byers has got it. Right side, 35, maybe the 38, maybe the 39. And it was Simpson coming in on the tackle. Number 11, Ryan Simpson. He's a junior. It'll be 3rd down and about 5. They give him 5 yards on that play. Here's the snap shotgun. Quick pass to the left. It's short. It one hop to receiver. The receiver over there was Wisniewski, and it was a one hopper.
Yeah, Wisniewski picked it very nicely, just like Yuli Gurriel, but it doesn't do any good.
They looked like they're going to go for it as Tessier, the quarterback, Cade Tessier, is on the field on a 4th and 5 from their own 39. I would think they're not going to do this. He's backing up a couple of steps. I think he's going to kick it out of there now. He is. It's a quick, shorter kick, though, to the sidelines. It goes somewhere around the 30, maybe the 31. So the Buffs hold them 3 and out, got a 7-point lead, and they got the ball back.
Now, before the Buffs go out there on offense, I was going to say that over the last 6 seasons, they have been eliminated, well, actually more than that. More seasons than that. Only 6 opponents have eliminated them. Manor, George Ranch, College Station did it twice. Aledo did it twice, both in state championship games. Crosby and Barbers Hill. What do those teams have in common? They have all risen above Class 5A Division II into larger classifications.
I'll be darned.
So the Buffs are not going to encounter any of those playoff nemesis as they go down the playoff road.
And they have the ball on their own 31. Fake handoff, pass to the left. That's Banks with the ball. He eludes a tackler, and he's all the way down to the 40. He's close to a 1st down. They're going to mark it right around the 41, which will be a 1st down if indeed he got to that spot, and he did. Quick pass to Banks, and Balke was able to push him out of bounds. And here they are again at the line of scrimmage already. Marshall going quick. Handoff up the middle. That handoff is to Haynes, who was able to gather about 2 yards up the middle. almost as if to say, we want to make sure you're honest, and they're at the line of scrimmage again. This is real hurry-up football going on.
I don't
for
get
the
to
Buffs
say anything.
Here's a handoff again. Haynes has it. He's moving the pile all the way to close to midfield. He's not a very big guy, Jonathan Haynes, but boy, I tell you what, he got those legs moving, and he got the pile moving all the way to the 48-yard line. Will be third down, and let's call it 2.
Gerard Collada on the tackle wears a single digit. If you do that in today's world, you're a good player.
Here's a handoff up the middle. Third straight handoff to Haynes. He's got the first down. And the Buffaloes are showing a little bit of their toughness on the inside there on those 3 last plays. 2 receivers on both sides. Can't catch a breath. Pass to Banks. Makes a move. He's struggling to get back to the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose about 2 yards on that play as Lake Creek was on top of him on that play. Rogers got a couple of the players.
And it would be the toughest name to say.
Yeah. Adodoaji. Say that
You
fast.
said it pretty good. Kate Adodobaji. Doaji. Adodoaji. But he was the one that grabbed Banks' foot and slowed him down.
About a 3-yard loss. Second down and 13. Here comes a shift into a formation to a pistol. Haynes has got it up the middle. He's not going far. He's going to get to about the 50, where he's wrapped up there by Davis Lee.
Now, Patrick, I did happen to go out to a Marshall practice on Monday. Actually, it was Tuesday, because Monday was the miserable rainy day.
Yeah.
That day I went to Ridge Point's practice.
Oh,
it was horrible weather. But so when you see Jordan Davis throw the football, he throws a live ball. It is whistling out of there.
And as you look at him, he does not have a quarterback body.
He's not a prototype.
But he is a tough player, and like you said, he's got a good arm. He's going to see it right now. Back to pass, being rushed, flush out of the pocket, and he's going to be sacked for a 2-yard loss, and it's Davis again. Davis Lee, number 1 for Lake Creek, came on a blitz from the left side, from the right side of the quarterback, Jordan Davis. He tried to get out of there, and he started scrambling, but Davis Lee was in high gear, and he cracked him down from behind, and now the Buffs have to punt. So that initial first down, a couple of first downs, and now they have to punt. They moved the ball to the 49, good field position. He's punting into the wind now. Let's see how he can get it off here. Here's the kick. It's a nice spiraling kick from Benton. Fielded at the 19, 18, about the 19-yard line, and that was fielded by Brooks McGee. He caught a fair catch. And so now Lake Creek will get its second possession. They trail by 7. And Roger, I love this kind of weather for football.
Well, I not only love the weather, but that was a heck of a punt by Benton because, as you mentioned, he's punting into the wind. He kind of angled it across the field. He got 37 yards. Great hang time, no return.
No return. Here's the fake handoff. Tessier has it almost intercepted. Oh, what a great jump on the ball by Lucas. Paul Lucas, as if he was the receiver on that play, had the best chance for the catch, and he almost had it. He just couldn't quite hang on to it as there was contact made simultaneously with the intent to receive that ball, and the receiver made contact with him. Here it's second down and 10 from the 19, man in motion, and Tessier has it, the quarterback, and he's not going anywhere. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and it's Paul Lucas again.
And by the way,
Wow.
It is easy for you, a Wisconsin guy who likes hockey. All you needed to do to pronounce the quarterback's name right is Tessier, as in Messier,
Right.
one of the great
Mark
hockey
Messier
players.
of the Islanders, I believe, wasn't
And
he?
Rangers.
Was it the Rangers?
Yeah.
By golly. Here he's back to pass. He's being flushed out of the pocket, looking downfield. And he tries to hit a receiver. It's intercepted at the 30. Still going. At the 25-yard line, it's Lair. Joshua Lair. Johnny on the spot. A little overthrown, and Lair was right there. How about a little rhyme there? And we're to the 20, let's see, we're going to mark at the 25-yard line, and Buffs are in business again here with a 7-0 lead and 6.5 to play here in the first quarter.
Yes, it's you can't really ask for a better start for the Buffs. They get the quick touchdown on their first possession. They made a first down but couldn't advance it too far on their second possession. But on the third play after the punt, they get a pick, and here they are at the 25-yard line.
Jordan Davis. He's got Wortham to his left. He's going to fake it to Wortham. He's back to pass. Now he's flushed. He's at the 25. He's scrambling. 20, 15. Looks like a horse collar over there, but they're not going to call it. And he's all the way down to the 10-yard line. He had a grab of that jersey, and he must have let go of it in time to not get the horse collar. I guess if you don't tackle the guy either, it can't be a horse collar either. All the way down to the 10, 15-yard scramble.
He's got quite a passing arm on his right shoulder, but attached to both shoulders, he can deliver a stiff arm to keep himself alive in space.
And he's got the thunder's thighs. He's almost got the Robert Newhouse.
He's all about
thighs.
that base.
Yeah, what a build on him. He's got a power backfield with him. Two backs in the backfield. Handoff. It's Wortham. He's going to squeeze out a couple on that play to the 8-yard line. Shadarian Wortham gets his first carry of the game.
It's Jai Adrian.
Jai Adrian.
Yes.
Adrian.
It's like Yo Adrian, but it's Jai Adrian.
Jai Adrian. I literally stand corrected.
Yeah, we're both standing.
We are standing in the booth today right now. Here's a handoff, Haynes. He's trying to get the corner. He's got it. 10, 5. He's close to the end zone. He's down at the 1-yard line. A great run by Haynes.
3rd and goal from right there.
Haynes looked like he might be tackled for a 2-yard loss. He eluded the tackler. Once he got to the edge, he had positive yards ahead. He almost got to the end zone. He's all the way to the 1. 3rd and 1. 3rd and goal from the 1. Jordan Davis has 2 backs with him. He's got Haynes and Wortham. He's giving it off to Haynes, and he's belted. Oh my goodness, right at the line of scrimmage. He might have even lost a half a yard. Chase Brown, whoa, he gave him a thump. And it's 4th and goal now, Roger. They're going to go for it.
They are not sending out the kicking unit, but they are going to send out
This is one of those momentum plays, though. Lake Creek is just pleading with their team here to keep them out of the end zone. Good crowd over there on the other side for the Lake Creek Lion side over there, and we got a great crowd for the Marshall Buffs as well. It's 4th and goal, Buffaloes. Davis waiting for the snap. He's just going to keep it. Right side, he's going to get in there easily. Nobody even close. He got to the corner with no distraction at all, and it's 13-0 Buffs, and the crowd over here is loving the start of this game. Rogers talked about it could not have gotten to be a better start for the Buffaloes, and we're talking about the offense, but the defense is playing great too.
So
including
Diaz
an interception.
He's going to come on and, I think, add the extra point. By the way, place kicking has been much better, much more consistent for the Buffs.
Here's Diaz. His kick is low, but it's right down the middle. And it's 14-0 Buffs. We'll take a short break here.
But first, we'll tell you that Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive took 5 plays. It covered 29 yards. It took 2 minutes and 24 seconds off the clock, and it was capped off on a 1-yard run around right end by Jordan Davis. We'll be right back.
Hey, Fort Bend County fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Neville Insurance Agency.
Bradley is my insurance man. He can save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every year on your car insurance, home insurance, or flood insurance, or all 3 like he did for me. And Bradley, you are as Fort Bend County as they come, right?
That's right, 4th generation here in the Needville area in Fort Bend County, taking care of folks over here for over 100 years here in Fort Bend County.
You can give him a call, you can go online, or he'll even come see you at the Needville Insurance Agency. Give him the number, Bradley.
979-793-7411.
We're back here at Del Mar. Diaz is going to kick another short one. Field it at the 25-yard line. Same guy. He's got an opening, though, right side. He's to the 45-50, and he's tracked down inside Buffs territory. That was McGee again. McGee did not take the fair catch. Donovan Jackson, thankfully, was able to make the tackle, but not until McGee got all the way to the 46-yard line. You don't see a return like that very often on a short kick like that.
You know, it seems like it's almost automatic when the pop-up kick comes. A lot of teams will just say, fair catch it, don't worry about it.
And that's instructions from the coaches, I'm sure. Here's Tessier. Got a man in motion. It's going to be a jet sweep. He's got room. 40, 35, still running inside the 30. That's Putska. Kason Putska. That's his first carry of the game, and it's a gain of about 17 yards. And the Lake Creek Lions looks like they've woken up here after that nice kickoff return. Tessier has it, fakes the handoff, and he's inside the 25 to about the 24-yard line, a gain of about 5 yards. And sometimes it just takes one play to get a team going, and maybe that punt or kickoff return was what the Lions needed to get themselves going. Now a test for the Buff defense. Handoff fake. Tessier has it. And it's batted down.
Oh,
nice
Jordan
play.
Sample almost got him one.
Got his hands on it. He was also in there was Elijah Sims. They were putting pressure on him, but I think it was Sample who got the hand on it.
You know, that would have been a J.J. Watt style pick six because he picks him off at point blank range.
Yeah. The ball bounced, and everybody was looking for it as if it was up in the air, but it had bounced, deflected off to the left. Fake handoff. Tessier's not going to get the first down. It's Patterson. Elijah Sims, I should say, in there. Number 7. And that's a no gain, and the ball's at the 24-yard line. All of a sudden, Lake Creek, they actually lost a yard on that play. It's back at the 25. It's going to be 4th and about 6. They're going to go for it. They feel like they have to. It's kind of no man's land. Even though they have the wind to the back. Tessier back to pass. He's going to go to the left. There's no chance on that play. He overthrew his receiver, and on the coverage was Lair. He had great coverage on the play, and Tessier just had nowhere to go with it. He threw it out of bounds.
Lair basically, we happened to be at a certain angle. He basically eclipsed the receiver.
Yes.
When the ball was falling harmlessly to the earth.
Well, Roger,
I couldn't even see the receiver because Lair was just completely in the way.
At some point, we're going to have to talk about the uniforms because it's gotten so fast and furious. We haven't had a chance to describe the uniforms. Man in motion. Ferguson was in motion. Quick pass to the left. Banks has got it. 35 still going. He's going to be tackled about the 35-yard line as Jacoby Banks, got the reception from Jordan Davis. He was wide open on that play. It was a simple, as they say, you hear this often, a very nice pitch and catch.
And it was one of those plays where a lot of mere mortal receivers would have just stepped out of bounds. But Jacoby Banks says, I think I'm going to turn it back in and see if I can turn it into something. He didn't turn it into a first down.
You can see his athleticism, and you can see why you said the Houston Cougars have him inked as for next year. Here's the snap. Fake handoff. It's going to be a quick pass, kind of one of those little, I don't know what you call those, little screen passes.
Little bubble screen, but the bubble was burst quickly.
The bubble was burst quickly as Ferguson made the reception, but there were Lions fiercely after him. It's 14-0. Buffs lead here late in the first quarter as they have been going into the win this first quarter. That has not stopped them from scoring 14 points.
You know, if my last name was Ferguson and my wife had a baby boy, I'd name him Massey. Massey Ferguson, tractor company.
Okay. He's back to pass now. Down deep he goes. He's got a man open. It's almost caught. Banks had his mitts on it, but he might have even been out of bounds had he caught it. It was just a little bit off on the positioning of the pass.
I think, Patrick, that at the tail end of that long throw by Davis, and by the way, I'm sorry I took so long to finish prior to that play, right at the end, I think the wind kind of got it, and it kind of forced Banks to look over his outside shoulder, and it was just not a ball he could catch, and it did end up out of bounds.
Ferguson is to the left, Banks to the right, along with Feast.
And they'll feast if he keeps getting himself open.
Yes, Davis has got the snap now. He's got some time to the right side. He's got a man open. Wortham, he's got the 40, 45, first down at midfield. That looked kind of easy. As he was wide open there in the right flat, there was nobody there within 5 yards of him.
I guess you call it pitch and catch if a guy's not covered, and it's a fairly short pass. But it was a 16-yard gain, and they didn't even cover Wortham coming out of the backfield.
It was an easy first down on 3rd and 10. It shouldn't be that easy, but it sure looked that way. 2 receivers to the left, and Davis is waiting for the snap. Looks to the left. He's got Banks, a short pass. He's got it at the 50, 45, still running inside Lion territory where he's finally tripped up by Scott, or is it?
Actually, I was pointing at 5, but it was 6, and there's no 6 on the one roster that we have
It's a
from
gain
Max
of
Preps.
8 yards, though. Here's the quick pass. Same play. Banks has got it. Why not? And he's got a first down inside the 35-yard line. He's run out of bounds finally by Balky.
When I heard Grant Balky's name, I thought of the television show Perfect Strangers.
They're snapping it again. Fake handoff, Jordan Scotty. He's bellied back to the 40, and now he's going to be tracked down for maybe a gain of 1. That might be the last play of the first quarter if the Buffs will take their time for a change. They've been running really fast with the fast-paced offense. I think they are going to let this clock run out as it gets to 10 seconds. And let's see here. They're at the line of scrimmage, and the clock winding down to 5, and that is the last play of the first quarter. 14-0 Buffs. Will be back after this.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn with Horn Solutions. We agree with energy analysts that the energy market has stabilized. We anticipate significant merger and acquisition activity. Good resources are scarce. Horn Solutions is positioned to assist you in accounting, finance, IT, and supply chain. Our staff can assist you with outsourcing, or we can supply you with resources to join your staff. Visit hornsolutions.net for details.
Gary Horn is a highly successful businessman who has made a huge impact in people's lives, and he loves what he does for a living. That's a big reason why Gary Horn and Horn Solutions support Get a Great Gig. Get a Great Gig is a free job search consultation service that will help you find a job you love, whether it's to make more money or get personal fulfillment in the career of your choice. Email them at getagreatgig@gmail.com or on Twitter at getgreatgigs.
We're back here at Del Mar Stadium. We're about ready to start the second quarter. Patrick Kinnick, Roger Smith, and we're seeing some good football so far from the Marshall Buffs. They got 4 receivers to the right, and here comes Banks in motion. Fake handoff, and a keeper as Davis keeps it, and he picks up about 5 yards. He's going to be third down about 3. He had everybody to the right. He had 4 receivers to the right. He had Banks coming in motion to the right. He faked the handoff, and then he ran to the left.
And you mentioned that Davis just doesn't look like the classic quarterback body type, but he's very agile and nimble. Mm-hmm. In fact, that was kind of a twinkle toes run where he jumped up in the air and kind of made a quick move as soon as he landed.
Well, and he's the kind of guy, just again by his body build, he's going to be able to take the beating and deliver some too. Here's a handoff. Haynes has got it. He's close to the first down, but he's going to be short. Jonathan Haynes was running through a lot of traffic there, and he got to the 26. He needed to get to the 24. 4th and 2, and the Buffs are just out there ready to position themselves for this 4th down play. They've scored a touchdown on 4th down, their second touchdown on a 4th and 1, and Davis just kept the ball and danced into the end zone uncontested. Let's see what happens here. Lake Creek, from their standpoint, they need a stop. 4th and about 2. Davis waiting. Banks in motion. Fake the handoff. He keeps it up the middle. He's going to get the first down. And you know why he got the first down? Because he's strong. He was able to fight that last yard, and he got it.
And because of the effectiveness of faking the jet sweep to Banks, that just freezes everybody.
Keeps you honest. First down for the Buffs.
By the way, I see Joe Gleason of ABC 13. So if the Buffs are about to score a touchdown, you can probably see it on ABC 13 tonight.
Yes. Roger, it's been going so fast, you haven't even been able to tell us about your first down sponsor.
Oh, that's
tonight.
right.
This afternoon,
I guess I ought to do that.
Got 3 receivers to the right. Haynes in motion. Fake handoff up the middle. Pass wide open. Touchdown! Oh, my goodness. Larry Benton was wide open, and a laser shot pass from Jordan Davis. Easy touchdown. What a play. And a 24-yard touchdown pass. How about that, Roger?
Hello, Larry. And that was Joe Gleason of ABC 13 right on it.
He's got it.
It'll be a thing of beauty. There were certainly no defenders in the area to obscure his shot of Benton.
Here's the extra point attempt. Diaz for his 3rd time through. He's got it. It's 21-0 with 10:04 to play here in the first half.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad. Grab my hand.
Wait, okay.
No, not up the stairs. We tried that last time. You can literally run through him.
It is that bad. Don't settle for just mobile. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $24.99 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and a free streaming box included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 12/21/22.
We're back at Del Mar. The Buffaloes, the Buffs, 21-0. Here's a kick from Diaz. This time it's going to go deep to the 10. Fielded there by number 21, and that is Byers. He was able to get to about the 22-yard line.
By the
Roger,
way,
you got to give us something.
Yes, in the Buffs' playoff history, there's only one team that has eliminated them and is now smaller than it was when they encountered the Buffs in the Class 5A Division II playoffs, and that is the Port Lavaca Calhoun Sand Crabs. They knocked Marshall out in the bi-district round back in 2014. So no one that Marshall has ever faced in the playoffs in its history are left in Class 5A Division II except Port Neches Groves.
Here's Tessier. It's a reverse. The reverse is to Lee. Lee's got the corner, but he's not going to get much. Well, he's got the 25, and he's finally ridden out of bounds at about the 29. He's able to pick up maybe 7 yards on the play. It didn't look like he was going to get that far.
Jordan Sample really playing spy, and it looked like he was kind of ready for that play, although Lee did a good job getting something out of it.
Yeah, got about 7 yards. They got to go to I was going to say, I don't think Lake Creek has been trailing by 21 this year. Certainly not 21-0. Here's a handoff up the middle. It's Byers. He's got room, and he's to the 40, close to the 42-yard line. And that was Donovan Jackson finally making the tackle. 41-yard lines where they mark it. He had a big hole that time, Byers did, and he was able to easily get the first down. Lake Creek on the ball quick. Man in motion. Tessier keeps it. He finds his way through a hole. He's past midfield. He's got another 10 yards. I don't know how he got through that hole. He kind of bent his body and just kind of weaved his way through that hole, and he's able to pick up 10 yards. A nice play by the quarterback, Cade Tessier. And man in motion, fake. Tessier looking downfield. Can't find anybody. This time he's going to go to his outlet pass. Fielded over there at the 48-yard line by Morcos.
Morcos, just like it looks. Morcos.
Looked like he might have had his knee down when he caught that ball. It must not have been all the way down. And he got 5 yards. A nice job by Tessier to go to his outlet receiver there for 5 yards. 2nd down and 5. They're on the move here. Here's Byers up the middle. He hits a wall, bounces off the wall, and goes to the outside, but finds another wall, but he's still churning those feet. He's able to pick up about 2 yards on that when he looked like he was not going to get anything.
At the end, it turned out not to be a wall, but a partition with little casters on the bottom, and he was able to push it a little farther.
Yeah, so it'll be 3rd down and close to 4. And I'm sure this is 4-down territory for the Lions, trailing by 21. They drove the ball last time. Here's a handoff, jet sweep, not going to get there though. And he's ridden out of bounds very
rudely.
Rudely, that's a good word for it. Putska, he got a good run in his last time he carried the ball. This time he didn't find much. Let's see if they gave him anything on that play. They actually gave him a loss. It's 4th and 5 as Lake Creek had a nice drive the last time they had the ball, and then they stalled on a 4th down, and here they are again. They can't seem to finish the drive off. See if what happens this time. Marshall trying to stop him on 4th down again. Tessier, this time it's going to be a handoff, jet sweep, and it's going to be close to the 1st down. I think he's short. I think he's short, Roger.
It kind of depends. He was sitting on
let's see.
top of
Morcos got the ball. Morcos.
He was sitting on top of William Mitchell.
He's
and
short.
it looked like he then rolled over, and it depends on where they spot it.
I
But
don't
based
think
on the spot, I think they're short.
I think they're short by half a yard.
And by the way, as they await the sticks
It's
to come
always
across.
coming from the other side, too.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
always.
The sticks always come from the other side.
So,
I don't know how that works. But
well, I guess if the sticks are on the near side, then when the ball is that close, you can just eyeball it.
I guess so. It's
So-
just funny how that works.
So let's see. What was I going to say? All right. So you got Port Neches Groves taking on Brenham today. And if Port Neches Groves wins that one, they'll face the winner of this one. It could be Marshall against a district rival in the next
Marshall's
round.
going to get the ball back here, and they do. Let's see. He's short. Can't tell how much. At least by a length of a football. He needed to make one little extra lunge to get that first down. He was unable to do it. Marshall has the ball again. They lead 21-0. And Roger, describe the Marshall uniforms today. We finally have a chance to give us the uniforms.
They are wearing the black home jerseys. They've got the gold UCLA-style striping on both shoulders. White letters outlined in gold. The helmets are gold with the block capital M in black on the side and the word block in gold letters within the letter M, because this place, because the Marshall Buffs are occupying it, is now M block. I'll give you the pants after the play.
Here's the handoff. Wortham, right side. He got about 2 yards that time.
What I just said sounded very awkward, but they are wearing the white pants with the gold stripe on the side with a very bold black stripe on either side of the gold stripe. So they, you remember last year they wore those gold jerseys. They were given to them by one of their alums who's now in the NFL. It didn't work out.
2nd 8. Davis got his man open, wide open. He's going to run to the 50, to the 40, still running inside the 40. There he is again, Jacoby Banks. Balke was able to get him out of bounds, but this is almost too easy right now for the Marshall Buffs. They're just on all cylinders. And those passes, the guys are so open, and they got lots of room to run. And I think the Lake Creek Lions are shell-shocked here.
By the way, the strong arm of Jordan Davis means you can throw that hitch screen and not worry about getting picked off.
Fake handoff to Wortham. Davis is being rushed. He breaks it out of a tackle. Down in the end zone. Got a man open. Touchdown! It is Ferguson! Oh, what a play by Jordan Davis. And then Ferguson's open in the end zone, and another touchdown for the Buffs. And the route
You
is
just
upon
took my
us, it
words
looks
out of
like.
my mouth. I was going to say, and the route is on, but you said it. We're starting to think alike, which
Oh,
is
my goodness.
a little scary.
What a play by Davis. He got out of a tackle that somebody had his ankle, and then once he got out of there, he found Ferguson open in the end zone, and he lofted it in there for him. Here's the extra point attempt. It's low, but it squeaks through there for Diaz. It's 28-0 with 6:52 to play here in the first half.
And you described the way he avoided that sack, and he really was making a twinkle toes move. He just kind of like Red Skelton when he was Clem Cadiddlehopper, and he would kind of do a little bicycle.
You're really bringing back the old archives now.
Well, okay.
What was that name again?
Clem Cadiddlehopper
Cadiddlehopper
on the Red Skelton Show, and we'll take a break on the VypeFortBend.com show.
First Tire and Automotive heard you were starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $20 off brake pad service. Since you will be traveling more, check out the back on the road fluid check specials and tire specials. Yes, First Tire and Automotive has those too. Your holiday savings start now. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugarland and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
Patrick, we can go back 2 years to when Marshall played the Montgomery Bears in Randall Reed Stadium.
Yep.
The final score in that game was 55-45.
Here's a kickoff, short again, fielded by Sam Lee, and he's rudely distributed out of bounds at about the 35-yard line, and some of the Buff fans were oohing and aahing over that one.
Well, it was a hard hit, but the point is the Montgomery Bears, they kind of gave the Buffs a game in that game 2 years ago.
Right.
And they ended up losing fairly decisively. A late touchdown made it close. But today, the Marshall Buffs are threatening to run away with this one.
Well, the Lions, if they're going to do anything, they're going to have to do something pretty quick. Tessier got a man open at the 45. He's completed. And the receiver down there is Burden.
No, it's Rhett.
Tyler Burden.
It's either him or Rhett Hall. We've got
12.
two number 12s on our Max Preps roster.
Boy. Oh, we got 2 12s. Yeah, it's either Rhett Hall or Burden.
Speaking of names, I got something to tell you. It's amazing.
All right. We just don't have any time between plays.
That's right. We don't.
Here's Tessier. He's going deep. The ball is knocked out of his hands. It's a fumble. Fight for the ball. Tessier was able to come out of there with it. Whoa, boy. I did not see the man who knocked it out of his hand.
I think it was 44.
I think it was number 44, Logan Granville from behind, swatted it out of his hand. Oh, they're calling it a pass, Roger. That it was not a pass.
Wow. Incomplete.
Whoa, it looked like it was knocked out of his hand, but they're saying that it was an incomplete pass.
That's
Break
interesting.
for the Lake Creek. Here's a quick pass to the right, complete, but brought down very quickly. The defender there is Gilroy. What a nice tackle over there by the Marshall defensive man. A gain of 3, 3rd down and 7 for the Lions from their own 47-yard line. Ooh, got a man offside. Free play for Lake Creek. He's going to go for the gusto. It's going to be downfield. Intercepted and dropped, but it's a clear offside against Marshall. One of the defensive men were trying to time the snap, and he mistimed it. He was about 3 yards into the backfield when a snap was made.
Okay, Patrick, there is the head coach of the Lake Creek Lions, whom I met today, James Patrick Kennedy. James Patrick Kennedy. He has a player on his roster named James Patrick Kennedy, but it's not his son.
I'll be darned.
And
that's
and
kinda
he's
hard
a junior.
to believe. 3rd and 2 now. Handoff. Byers fighting for it. 45-yard line. I think he's got the first down. He just burrowed his way in there, and he was very determined to get that first down, and he got it. Lake Creek has done a lot of work between the 30s, but not much beyond that. They've driven the ball effectively the last 3 times they've had the ball, but then they've been stalled. Like this right here. Byers up the middle. He's not going anywhere for a no gain, as the interior line of the Buffs, including Jordan Sample, in on that tackle. It'll be a gain. They're going to give him 1 or a half a yard or so. Let's call it 2nd down and 9 for the Lions. 5 minutes to play here in the first half. 28-0. Marshall has the big lead. Jet sweep handoff. That's Lee again. He's got the corner, and he's going to get inside the 40 to around the 37-yard line. Sam Lee, the junior receiver.
Patrick, when you get into the 3rd round of the playoffs, you start asking, well, how good is this team?
Right.
How good is this Marshall Buffs team? I have a little perspective if I'll ever get any chances. They play so fast, and now as soon as I say that, they pause and look over at the sideline.
You could have got it in what you needed to say.
I could have.
3rd down, and let's call it 3 at about the 37-yard line. Tessier has a man coming in motion. He's going to fake it to him, keep it, and he's got the 25. He's close to the first down. I think he's got it.
I think
that
so.
That time he just used his brute strength and got through there. And can you get what you need to be said now?
As they reset the chains, which they will do in a moment, I think. They're looking at it. Yes, it's a first down. As of the start of this 3rd round of the playoffs in Class 5A Division II, all but one of the Dave Campbell's Texas football top 10 is still intact. You've got Argyle, which is ranked 1st. Marshall is 2nd. Liberty Hill, Grapevine, Lake Creek, Midlothian Heritage. I got to stop talking.
Tessier's pass is complete at about the 27, 28-yard line. Now we have a penalty marker coming in late. I don't know if there was a face mask or what happened there.
Credit to both of these teams. I think that's the first penalty flag we've had.
It's the second one.
Only
there
the
was
second.
an offside just a moment ago, and then now we have another penalty marker at the point of the tackle.
Okay, so all those teams that I mentioned, plus Midlothian Heritage, San Antonio Alamo Heights, and South Oak Cliff, the defending state champs. Well, and also Melissa. So they're all still alive, except Austin LBJ was knocked out of the playoffs last week by one of Marshall's district rivals, Port Neches Groves.
Well,
okay, I'm sorry that took so long.
reception, along with it was a face mask, takes it all the way to the 11. Lake Creek, first real threat now. And a handoff to Byers. He's inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line. And boy, if you're Lake Creek, you need a touchdown right here.
So in other parts of Texas, you got South Oak Cliff playing Midlothian Heritage today. And you've got Alamo Heights against Liberty Hill, Melissa against Terrell, and Argyle against Grapevine.
Here's a second down play. Second down about 7. Byers looking for some room, not finding much as Sample was in there to wrap him up. It'll be third down and about 5. They can get a first down at about the 1. The clock approaches 3 minutes to play here in the first half. The Buffs, total domination so far, 28-0, and the Lions now trying to get on the board for the first time. If they don't get on the board here, it might be curtains. Tessier back to pass, looking in the end zone. Got a man open in the corner. It's touchdown. What a play. That was Sam Lee. He was open there. The defender, I think, was faked out or something because he was running the opposite direction. He was about 5 yards off the play. Nice pass by Tessier, and Sam Lee did a good job of keeping his feet in bounds.
Yes, in fact, he only needed 1 foot, but he kept
got 'em
two
both in
and did it very gracefully.
Yes, and here's the extra point attempt. Trying to get the kicker here is Abbott, I think. He's going to get the snap is coming, I think. Here it comes. It's low, put down nicely by the holder, and the kick is good. I'm trying to find out who that holder is. Number 3, is it? Machette. He did a good job. That ball was coming in on the ground, and he was able to get it up there. 28-7. We'll be right back.
Next Level Urgent Care supports Fort Bend County sports and supports you whenever you're hurting. Next Level is here for the community, open 7 days a week, 9 till 9, for you and your family at more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugarland, Sienna, Greatwood, Longmeadow, and 4 in Katy. From OW to WOW, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. And if you're short on time, Next Level has an app to get you in line right away. Just text NLUC APP to 313131 for Next Level Urgent Care.
We're back at Del Mar. 2:54 to play here in the first half. And Lake Creek has finally cracked the scoreboard. It's 28-7. Marshall, total control so far until that touchdown. And let's see if they can score before the half here. Abbott's going to kick it off into the wind. High and fielded at about the 12-yard line. At the 20. This is Banks. He's got room. 40, 50, 40. He's going to be tackled at the 30-yard line. Oh, boy. He might have been the guy not to kick it to. Boy, Banks got it. He found a crease, and he was off to the races. Finally brought down inside the Lake Creek 30 at about the 28-yard line. So all that momentum they had just now looks like it's going to dissipate in a big hurry.
Well, there's not much mystery to the question, do the Buffs have enough time to get down there and score again?
Yeah,
they've got 2 minutes and 43 seconds to advance 29 yards.
Question is, will they leave any time for Lake Creek? Here's Davis now with nobody behind him, nobody with him in the backfield. Got quads to the left and Banks to the right. Up the middle he goes by himself. Breaks out of a tackle, almost spun out of there for more. But finally he was brought down for about a 1-yard gain. Thanks to number 10.
Yeah,
number
he's
10 is Chase Brown.
The third time was the charm because
he did
break 2 tackles, and the third guy got him.
Second down and 9, and as the clock does wind, and I think the Buffs would like to see the clock wind close to the end and then score. Here's Davis again, waiting for the snap. To the right he looks, man open. It's Banks at the 15, makes a move, spins, and almost scores. but only dragged down by the jersey, finally by Scott. Banks, again, a lot of these plays just look way too easy, Roger. They are so open, and Davis just laying it in there. I don't know if he's had an incompletion today, has he?
They're looking so good that I think I'm going to have to put in for a half-day absence on Friday, December the 16th.
Well, they're looking
I'm starting
good.
to think we better be ready for that.
Here they come now. First and goal from the 8. Clock at a minute and a half to play. Banks coming in motion. Fake jet sweep. Davis keeps it. He's got room. 5, and he's going to score again. It didn't take long. Roger was right. And it's 34-7 after the big long kickoff return by Banks. Couple of plays. Paid it again for the Buffs.
That is an Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive that only takes, let me see here, it took a minute and 18 seconds off the clock and culminated with a run around the right side by Jordan Davis.
Here's Miguel Diaz. Kicks up and through. And interestingly enough, Jacoby Banks is the holder. You might have mentioned that earlier, I don't know, but you got your top receiver as the holder. He lays it down nicely. It's 35-7 with a minute 25 to play here in the first half.
And we'll be back after this Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive, and now we'll hear from the fine folks at Archer Volkswagen.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
First Tire and Automotive heard you were starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $20 off brake pad service. Since you will be traveling more, check out the back on the road fluid check specials and tire specials. Yes, First Tire and Automotive has those too. Your holiday savings start now. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
Diaz has got it teed up. He's kicking it off from left to right. It's going to be fielded by number 20. That's Nazarud. Oh, he's still running. Nazarudin was able to field that ball and get it all the way out to the 30-yard line.
Well, you know, in the countdown to kickoff show, we talked with Coach Williams. He said, I told him that to my eye, they just looked super businesslike, absolutely businesslike, and they have played like it was all business as they got off the bus and came here to Del Mar Stadium. And it's got to be just depressing for Montgomery Lake Creek. They thought they were pretty good, and they're 12-0, but they're just getting blown out.
So far. Messier has it tracked down from behind as he tried to scramble out of there, and that is Granville.
Granny Smith.
On the sack of about 4 yards as
Logan
Tessier tried to roll to the right.
Logan Granville. Granville is his last name, but I just thought of Granny Smith.
Well, when the score is 35-7, you start thinking things like that. Here's a pass complete, bobbled and then caught again by Lee, and he's still running. He's at the 25, 26-yard line. Nice run after the catch as he almost bobbled it into the defender's possession, but he kept it himself. Clock winds down to 30 seconds to play. Lake Creek still has 3 timeouts. If they get a first down here, they'll probably call one of those timeouts. Here's Tessier back to pass. He's looking for his receiver. It's open. 35, 50, 40, inside the 40, and now a late hit after the play. Oh, I was just going to say earlier, they really had not made many mistakes, and that was a mistake, unfortunately, for the Buffs, as William Mitchell gave him a little extra shove. He was well out of bounds.
And it was either Kyler Burden or Rhett Hall.
We have those
Again,
two
we have
number
two
12s,
number 12s on our roster.
It was a nice pass, and then Burton or Hall just ran nicely into Buffs territory, and then there was a late hit.
And that really...
So now they're in position at least for a field goal. They still got 15 seconds, and they got 3 timeouts. The ball's at the 22-yard line. That was a great play by Lake Creek, and then an unfortunate mistake by the Buffs It might cost them. Let's see if it does. Tessier, I heard a whistle. They kept playing. The ball in the end zone. Caught for a touchdown. That might be, Roger, what a pass and what a catch by Lee. In the back of the end zone, he got 1 foot down. I thought I heard a whistle. Did you think you heard a whistle?
I didn't think I heard a whistle.
And one of the Buffs was talking to the referee afterwards as if to say, didn't the whistle blow? The rest of the teams played. They're going to go for 2. Tessier looking to the right. It's a hook and ladder. And he's not going to get in. Good job by the Buffs. What a play by the Buffs to keep him out of the end zone. Hook and lateral on a 2-point play. And the score, well, they got 15 on the board. Did he call him in there, Roger?
Well,
they put the points on the board,
yeah,
but I
they
didn't
gave
think
it
he
to
got
him.
in.
And I was thinking, I never saw the touchdown signal, and
I
you
didn't see
didn't
it
either. But,
He
as
got
John
close to the
Madden,
pylon.
as John Madden said, the goal line goes all the way around the world. So if it doesn't matter if you fall outside the pylon.
Okay.
If when you or any body part like the elbow or the knee
Touches
lands, it's
on
where
the-
the football is. If it is beyond the line formed by the 2 pylons,
Wow.
all the way around the world, then it's still
I guess he must
good.
have touched that pylon because they got 15 on the board, which means they scored it, and it's 35-15. Roger, it looked like Lake Creek was ready to go to the locker room and just be satisfied with getting the ball back to start the second half, but then they made that one pass play, got him down to about the 40, and then the personal foul took it all the way down to the 22, which allowed them then to go to the end zone, and they scored. That's quite an end to the half here.
They got
4
a lot
seconds.
of fight.
Here's a kick. It's going to, it's sail out of bounds. Will the Buffs do one play here? They're going to get the ball where? At a good field position, but they only have 4 seconds. But the way Davis throws the ball, they might want to heave one up there and see how it goes.
Yeah, like I was telling you, I can't remember if it was while our mics were hot or if it was during a break, but I'm telling you, Jordan Davis, he's got a powerful arm, throws tight spirals. He's got the wind at his back, and you've got Jacoby Banks and several other players who might be faster than anyone on the Lake Creek squad, so you might as well just try and get one more.
They're spotting the ball to 33, so it would have to be a 67-yard play with 4 seconds to play and a half. The way this half is going, it wouldn't surprise me. But, boy, I'm just really surprised by the way it ended here for Lake Creek to score at the end. I was surprised that they could do that. And Davis is going to have 3 receivers, now 4, as Davis goes in motion, and now a whistle blows. And there's, let's see, what do we got? Maybe a delay of game? We haven't seen too many penalty markers on the field today, Roger.
Only
pretty clean.
4 now, I think.
It's 4.
4 penalties. This will be the 4th, and evidently it's a
they're
false
all
start.
against the Buffaloes.
Yeah.
Offside, clear offside play earlier, and then this play, face mask, and then that one out of bounds just moments ago, which was a clear penalty as well. Otherwise, it's been a pretty clean first half. Now they got 3 seconds on the clock. Maybe they're just going to run this one out. He's just going to take a knee. Probably pretty good idea. Hey, 35-15 at halftime. Let's take that to the clubhouse and feel good about that. Well, the Lake Creek Lions did score late. They get the ball to start the second half. It could be a little bit interesting, but hopefully the Buffaloes will regroup a little bit here and come out firing like they did in the first half.
All right, and by the way, Lake Creek will get the ball first. Did you already say that? Okay, I'm sorry. I was thinking about something. I wasn't listening as well as you should have been. Okay, so you already know that Lake Creek will get the ball first to start the second half. And there's one other thing I want to point out before we have our next level urgent care halftime show. As I was coming in today, you had 2 girl students on the trainer staff for Lake Creek. They both had, each one of them had a dolly with a large cylindrical Gatorade cooler loaded with ice water or iced sports drink or whatever it is.
Could have been Gatorade.
Well, could have been Gatorade. They were Gatorade coolers on the outside.
Right.
And so one of them getting over there near the little cinder block thing that has the play clock on it, She got close to that, and she just kind of got into the grass, and it started to go, and it falls over. And both of them
Did they empty?
have the lids come off, and they
no.
all pour out.
Jeez.
Now, there was another girl who was ahead of her. She made it down the concrete ramp, and when she got down to field level, one of her coolers fell off the dolly, but the top stayed on.
Gee whiz.
And I picked that up for her because there was nothing I could do for the other girl.
Right.
But my point is that if late in the game Lake Creek starts to dehydrate, then that's why they lost half their coolers.
We can attribute it to that event that
Yeah.
happened prior to the game that Roger so eloquently described for us. You don't get too many broadcasts where you get a little synopsis of the water coolers or the Gatorade coolers.
Here's one other thing. All right, if you have one of those dollies that basically has about a 5-foot long deck and it's maybe 2 feet wide, and you have those large cylindrical jugs, 2 words, bungee cords.
Right.
And they're likely to slide off.
Right.
So anyway.
Thank you for that, Roger.
Yes, we got the holidays coming up. Of course, the Marshall Buffs will only be traveling to playoff games, they hope.
Yep.
But there are lots of places you can go in Texas that are just terribly interesting, and one of them is in Kilgore, and we're going to visit with Chuck Conrad, who owns a museum. And I know you might be thinking, museum, boring. No. This is not a boring museum. It is the Texas Broadcast Museum. Everything you wanted to see among radio and television artifacts, how they produce television and radio, how we receive it, just the evolution of all this technology. It's really awesome. And we're going to talk to Chuck when we come back on the Next Level Urgent Care halftime show. And we will also have scores from around the state of Texas, the daytime games here on the day after Thanksgiving. Our halftime score, Marshall leads Lake Creek 35-15. We'll be back.
Next Level Urgent Care supports Fort Bend County sports and supports you whenever you're hurting. Next Level is here for the community, open 7 days a week, 9 till 9, for you and your family at more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugarland, Sienna, Greatwood, Longmeadow, and 4 in Katy. From ow to wow, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. And if you're short on time, Next Level has an app to get you in line right away. Just text NLUC APP to 313131 for Next Level
Welcome
Urgent
back,
Care.
everybody, to the Next Level Urgent Care halftime show. And hope you're going to have a great holiday season. And if you get to travel, there's a place you must visit. If you're up in the North Texas, Northeast Texas area around Nacogdoches, Lufkin, Longview, Tyler, you've got to go to the Texas Broadcast Museum in Kilgore. I can't recommend it enough. And with us is Chuck Conrad. He is basically the guy who has made this beautiful dream come into reality. And first of all, Chuck, for those who have no idea what it might be like to be at the museum, describe it for us.
Well, it's a little bit of everything, and everybody's watched TV, they've listened to the radio, you've collected records, you've just experienced this. It's really your life, to be perfectly honest. I mean, that's everybody has experienced these things, and we have all the technology here that's how it was done, and we can explain that to you. We have one of ESPN's original TV mobile units from 1979 when they first signed on the air for sports fans. We have one of probably the oldest restored TV mobile unit anywhere from Channel 8 in Dallas. It was used during the Kennedy assassination coverage. We have a camera that was there when Lee Harvey Oswald was shot live in the Dallas police headquarters by Jack Ruby. That was pretty exciting. Didn't even know that its history. We have film equipment, we have radio equipment, we have a working radio studio, we have a working TV news set. You can go be the TV news guy, the anchor, or you can go do the weather. There's a lot to do here, and we even do events. We have various conventions and conferences and class reunions, all kinds of things like that. And it's really a fun place, and everybody has a really big time because they can relate to some of this stuff. I mean, whether it's an Edison phonograph or a reel-to-reel tape recorder or maybe an old hi-fi like you used to have back in the 60s or 70s, we have all kinds of stuff like that. We even have jukeboxes, you know. You don't even have to put a quarter in. Ours are free.
There's no doubt that it does appeal to everybody. There's something here for everyone, unless, of course, maybe they're Amish. Chuck Conrad is in charge of this Texas Broadcast Museum. And first of all, I want to ask you, did this kind of become one of these ideas that grew legs, and then you said, you know what, I could turn that into a business? Or did you set out at the very beginning to try and collect artifacts from all these years of radio and TV and its evolution?
Well, it's not a business, first of all. We're a 501c3 not-for-profit corporation.
Sorry about that.
No, don't worry about it. But we're a public charity. But what happened was back in the 1970s and 80s and 90s, I was in the live sound business. I did sound for rock and roll shows, among other things, also for corporate clients like Southwest Airlines, American Airlines, Piper Aviation, Miller Beer, all kinds of people. I guess I'm plugging all your maybe sponsors or maybe not. But anyway, we also sold equipment. All the time people were bringing in old microphones, wanting to trade them in. This really started with microphones, which are small and light, and that's not a real big problem. I've always liked microphones for some reason. I guess I had a love affair with them since I was a kid. But people would bring in these old mics and want to trade them in on a brand new Shure microphone or something, and to get them off the street, and so they wouldn't go drive 20 miles across town to a competitor, I'd give them $5 or something, and now I'm not even making lunch money on the thing, but it was what it was. And I put them in a box, and for a long time I kind of forgot about them, and we moved to a new building. We actually bought a building and set up in there, and I get all these boxes of microphones and go, some of these look pretty cool. They're kind of neat. Look at this. And we made a big display of them, put a big wall behind our sales counter, and people started wanting to rent them for photo shoots and movies and all kinds of things. The JFK movie has some of my microphones in it. A lot of music videos back from the 80s and 90s have my microphones in it. They're mostly here now, but I still have a few back at the radio station. But that's kind of how it started. And then somebody one day said, would you go to the big sale at the Radio TV Museum in Dallas? And I went, what are you talking about, sale? And I said, well, they got in financial trouble and the landlord repoed everything and had a big sale last Saturday and stuff went dirt cheap. And I went, oh no, that's horrible, because there was a pretty cool little museum in Dallas. So I went over there at lunchtime and I ended up buying 3 TV cameras. One I actually operated when I was a student at SMU, one that I just liked, and another one that came from KRLD in Dallas, and I'd worked at KRLD when I was in college. I spent 2 semesters in the news department there. Didn't think too much of it, but all of a sudden people started bringing me TV cameras. Actually, none of these came with tripods or dollies or anything to put them on, so I started looking for tripods or dollies or whatever, something to mount them on. And of course, when I found them, they had a TV camera attached to them, so you had to buy the whole thing. So one thing kind of led to another. And I'd just kind of been squirreling this stuff away in my business in Dallas. We had a pretty good-sized building. It was about 13,000 square feet and had an attic in part of it, so I dumped all the stuff up in the attic and kind of forgot about it. And someone along the line came in and said, we'd like to buy your business. And I went, well, I don't have an exit plan, so sure, why not? If you got money? And they said, yeah, we have money. So we ended up making a deal. I ended up working for them for a year, and they said, now you're going to have to get all this junk out of here, because we don't want it. It's going in the dumpster if you don't get it out of here. So I made many trips to East Texas with a trailer full of this stuff. And that's kind of how it started. And then one day I woke up and went, what am I going to do with this stuff if I get hit by a bus? What kind of garage sale is my wife going to have in Chalk Hill, Texas, where I live? So that's how come the museum kind of started.
Well, that's kind of like the Herschel Walker trade was the Cowboys, who won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. It really changed everything, and you thought, hey, we really are onto something that people will want to come and see. We're talking with Chuck Conrad. He's with the Texas Broadcast Museum, 416 East Main Street in Kilgore. You can look at their website, texasbroadcastmuseum.com. We'll take a break and visit just a little bit more with him at this, talk about this wonderful place that I promise you, if you visit the Texas Broadcast Museum, you will be fascinated and you will want to come back. You'll tell your friends. We'll be right back on the Next Level Urgent Care Halftime Show.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Texas for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Football fans, you do not want to miss the UIL State Football Championship experience at Cowboys Stadium in Arlington in December. Come out for an action-packed 4 days, Wednesday the 14th through Saturday, December the 17th, and witness the best teams in each division battling it out in the final games of the season. Tickets and all tournament pass information can be found at uiltexas.org. We appreciate the UIL for everything they do to, sports is not even half of what they do at the UIL, but it's really amazing all the extracurricular activities that take place in the public high schools throughout the state of Texas. You are listening to the Next Level Urgent Care Halftime Show. Our halftime score is your Marshall Buffs leading Lake Creek by a score of 35-15. We'll be back with more of Chuck Conrad as he will continue to talk about the Radio and TV Museum in Kilgore, Texas. And then we'll have scores from Region 3. We will have it covered like a blanket for you. Classes 5A and 6A with the teams that are in Region 3 and looking to make it to Arlington and Cowboys Stadium the week before Christmas. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn with Horn Solutions. We agree with energy analysts that the energy market has stabilized. We anticipate significant merger and acquisition activity. Good resources are scarce. Horn Solutions is positioned to assist you in accounting, finance, IT, and supply chain. Our staff can assist you with outsourcing, or we can supply you with resources to join your staff. Visit hornsolutions.net for details.
Gary Horn is a highly successful businessman who has made a huge impact in people's lives, and he loves what he does for a living. That's a big reason why Gary Horn and Horn Solutions support Get a Great Gig. Get a Great Gig is a free job search consultation service that will help you find a job you love, whether it's to make more money or get personal fulfillment in the career of your choice. Email them at getagreatgig@gmail.com or on Twitter at getgreatgigs.
We are back, continuing our halftime visit with Chuck Conrad of the Texas Broadcast Museum. Hope you're enjoying our playoff presentation today. But I can promise you that if you go to the Texas Broadcast Museum, you literally can be there all day. It's not a huge facility. It's not like it's as big as the George R. Brown Convention Center, but there's this never-ending string of artifacts, television equipment, radio equipment. It's truly, truly amazing. And Chuck, I guess I want to ask you, the youngest of the people who watch high-definition TV, do they ever walk in and cringe when they see the images on screens from long ago and what it once looked like?
Well, I had some kid ask me, was the whole world black and white back then? And I go, no, but TV certainly was, and they don't know. Actually, the way a lot of this got started was I own a couple of radio stations in the area, and some kids from Kilgore came out to visit the station one day. They were little Cub Scouts, probably 7, 8 years old. And when you first come in, there's some microphones up on the wall and some old radios and a crank-up phonograph with a big red Morning Glory horn on it. We have one here. You can come experience the same thing. And I started cranking the thing. And this little red-haired kid says, now, why are you cranking that? And I said, well, it was made in 1905, and back in 1905, most people didn't have electricity. He goes, no. Of course they had electricity. Everybody's got electricity. I go, no, not even today. Everybody has electricity. In our country, yes, they do, but not everywhere. And his eyes were like moon pies or something. I said, no. In 1905, things were a lot different back then. Very few people had indoor plumbing. I mean, that was a real luxury. Hardly anybody had a car. Telephones were practically unheard of. A few people had them, but only rich people. And the kid goes, now, wait a minute. If they didn't have phones, how'd they get on the internet? He was serious. I am not usually at a loss for words, but that one actually stumped me for a minute. And then I realized that these kids really do need to know this. So they come in here and they can learn about Morse code. They can see an Edison phonograph that actually works. They can listen to it, and experience how horrible it sounds. Makes their MP3 sound really good. And they can watch early TVs and have to wait for it to warm up instead of boot up. They've never seen a phone booth. It's a lot of fun to ask them to use a telephone dial. They don't know what people are sticking their fingers in the holes, like they're pushing buttons. So it's a whole different world, but the kids really need to know, and it's been a really great experience for doing that.
I'm at a similar loss for words when kids can't tell you where the electricity comes from other than that it comes from a plug in the wall. They don't realize that something has to burn to produce that, but that's a whole nother discussion. One thing that really amazed me the first time I visited your museum is when you explained just how difficult it was to televise an event, especially a football game, because the camera equipment, I'm going to exaggerate here, but maybe you'd have a camera that weighed a couple of tons and you somehow had to mount it inside the bleachers at a stadium where it wasn't really engineered to accommodate a broadcast. Can you just give maybe 1 minute on how it's different when they televise a game now, as far as how big and heavy the equipment is, as opposed to not that long ago, 40, 50 years ago?
Well, the early color cameras, the first ones that came out that people used into the 1970s, I mean, I've got pictures of them at Texas Tech hauling these things into the bleachers and stuff. They weighed 345 pounds, and then you still had to have a tripod and a dolly and whatever, and cables. Giant cables. I mean, these cables were 1.5 inches in diameter, and the early ones had 3 cables that came out of it. You're dragging hundreds and hundreds of feet of this stuff into the stadium, and then plugging it into the truck that's parked outside. That, oh, by the way, didn't have air conditioning. That was really special too. And everybody had to wear a coat and tie while they're doing this too. That was just the way it was back in the 1950s, 1960s. It was huge work to do. Now you go into a stadium, and I think the Super Bowl had 124 cameras. Our original ESPN truck had 4. They upped it to 6 and thought, wow, this is something.
And in some places, didn't they have to build a pedestal or a deck, or maybe bring in some scaffolding just to have a place to put the camera?
Yeah, they certainly did. You couldn't put this on the little tiny narrow place where your bleachers are. It's just not big enough. I mean, these things are gigantic. So you'd have to put scaffolding in and make your own decking. And they would I remember used to see them, they'd mount one in a golf cart and move back and forth up and down the sideline at a football game. And there was some poor guy that had to drag this incredibly heavy cable, from quick, we're going to the 20-yard line now for the first down, and they had to go drag this thing down there. It was some serious work. The guys that did that were real athletes, really. And then even later in the 70s, when they started coming out with handheld cameras, they were 35, 40 pounds. And can you imagine having that on your shoulder for 4 hours for a football game?
No.
It's pretty exciting. And then a line blocker comes in and slams right into you, and you fall over on your back with this thing. And you get seriously hurt doing this. Now there's little cameras in the pylons that are there at the goal line. There's 4 of them in each one of those, and they're all wireless. And it's a whole different world today, totally different.
We could talk with Chuck Conrad all day. You can come to the museum in Kilgore at 416 East Main Street, and you can spend all day. You'll love it. And I mistakenly called it a business earlier. It's a 501c3. So do make a generous donation. It's certainly worth it. I know that libraries want your money, and all kinds of places that kind of help preserve our story in different businesses, but this is just amazing. Thank you, Chuck, for being with us. Folks, make a donation when you come here. It's something that you really need to do, but it's worth its weight in gold or pennies or whatever you pay. Thank you, Chuck.
You're welcome. Come see us.
All right, soon as football season is over, I think I will, but we want our playoff teams to go on and on and on. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com. I also wanted to tell her, I said, this is the first stadium all year, or in many years, that somebody has not let me in. Congratulations.
First Tire and Automotive heard you were starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $20 off brake pad service. Since you will be traveling more, check out the back on the road fluid check specials and tire specials. Yes, First Tire and Automotive has those too. Your holiday savings start now. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
Next Level Urgent Care supports Fort Bend County sports and supports you whenever you're hurting. Next Level is here for the community, open 7 days a week, 9 till 9, for you and your family at more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugar Land, Sienna, Greatwood, Longmeadow, and 4 in Katy. From ow to wow, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. And if you're short on time, Next Level has an app to get you in line right away. Just text NLUC APP to 313131 for Next Level Urgent Care.
Welcome back to Del Mar Stadium, where at halftime your Marshall Buffs lead Lake Creek 35-15 in this third-round playoff game in Class 5A Division II. And now we'll give you the scores about the teams that you care about here in the greater Houston area and beyond. Our Hightower Hurricanes are in the Class 6A Division II playoffs, and they trail C.E. King 21-14 at halftime of their game. Patrick, you and I remember going to C.E. King, the first game that Ridgepoint ever played in the Rick LaFavor's era, the first game of 2020.
Yes, I remember that stadium.
And Ridgepoint got spanked, but of course they came back strong and had a pretty good season after that. All right, here's something that's important, or could be going forward in Class 5A Division II, as the Buffs, we hope, will advance beyond today and then continue. But they might someday play either Alamo Heights or Liberty Hill. Now, both of those teams are in Region 4. The reason you don't want to play Liberty Hill is they run this funny offense called the slot T. It's very hard to describe, but it's very hard to prepare for. They are trailing San Antonio Alamo Heights in a Class 5A Division II Region 4 game. Alamo Heights 9, Liberty Hill 3, with 8:31 to go in the first half. Katy is leading Summer Creek 7-0. That is a Class 6A Division II game. Katy leading Humble Summer Creek 7-0 with 7:56 to go in the first quarter. Cinco Ranch and North Shore are playing each other, but they haven't gotten started yet. It is scoreless as they prep to start the game, I would presume, at 3 o'clock. And let's see what else we got. I think that's it as far as games that are going on right now, although, let's see, I had a score. The Fulshire Chargers are in Class 5A Division I, and they are trailing Smithson Valley 21-6 at the half. And I'm kind of torn on this one, Patrick, because there's someone I really find to be a very dear friend. I care very much about her. She is the Fulshire head volleyball coach, but her dad has been an assistant football coach at Smithson Valley for 30-plus years, Coach Touton. So Sydney Zimmerman is the volleyball coach at Fulshire. So I don't know who she's rooting for. Is she rooting for her Chargers, or is she rooting for her dad's team? I don't know.
Maybe you call that a no-lose situation, or a win-win no matter what happens in that one, for her at least.
Okay, so 21-6, Smithson Valley leading Fulshire. All right, so I guess I've told everybody everything except I need to promote tonight's game. We've got Ridgepoint and Atascocita, Class 6A Division I. And if Ridgepoint can win that one, they would play the winner of the game between North Shore and Cinco Ranch. And there's nothing to report yet from the North Shore Cinco Ranch game.
Well, we have one problem the Buffs have had today is their inflatable tunnel has not been working. Neither half have the Buffs been able to come through their tunnel. I don't know what's going on over there, but a lot of work being done and a lot of effort being put in. But unfortunately for the Buffs, not working. But on the plus side, it didn't work in the first half. They put up 35 points. So maybe that's an omen for good things, a sign for good things here the second half as we're about ready to start the second half.
Now, you and I have to be just a little bit gun-shy. It's a cautionary tale of the 2021 by-district playoffs when Marshall got up by 2 touchdowns on Barbers Hill, and they took their foot off the gas, and they ended up losing. I don't think that's going to happen today, but you better believe that the coaches, even if they're not mentioning it to their players specifically, they're saying you need to go out there and play like it's 0-0. It's like we're starting a new game here.
Yep.
And don't do anything to let these
team.
Yeah, don't
who
let
might remember that.
Don't do anything to let these guys back in the ball game.
Buffaloes will be kicking off here to start the second half, and they will be kicking into the win. Halftime, there were a few umbrellas that were popped open.
Oh, really?
I think there's a little bit of a light rain. There's a few umbrellas still out and open. I see somebody folding one of them up right now, so maybe it's not too bad. There's no downpour or anything.
But from what we hear, there's going to be heavy rain that's coming our way, and you might be prepared to lower your window a little.
Yep.
Not all the way.
So far, I haven't seen any raindrops, and so I'm feeling pretty good, but we'll see. Well, looks like it's going to be Diaz kicking off. We got 12 minutes to play here in the third quarter, 24 minutes to play here in the ball game for Marshall to stamp this one home. It's a short kick, fielded at the 27. He's going to keep it running. This time he's not going to get as far as he had in the past. That was McGee who has done that a couple of times. He's refielded the short kick. And was it Lair who made the tackle?
The next one.
Penny.
Penny
Cameron
for
Penny.
your thoughts, or Penny for a tackle.
He made a nice tackle there. He flipped him up at the 31-yard line. It was a return of about 4. And that's where Lake Creek will start their first possession here of the second half. They scored at the end of the first half, including a 2-point play. And now they're trying to back that up with a opening score of the third quarter. Here's a handoff. Left side, not much doing there for Byers. He is able to plow for maybe 2. It'll be second down and 8.
He's Patrick. I'm sorry. I just want to give credits here. He's Patrick Kinnick. I'm Roger Smith. Merle Bertrand inside the mothership at Vype World headquarters.
Tessier back to pass, being flushed. He's going to be sacked. Oh, he gets rid of the ball somehow. Unbelievable. He just threw it up there. Byers was in the area. He avoided a sack of about 15 yards. Elijah Sims, among others, but Sims was the man who really had him, and I don't know how Tessier got rid of that ball, Roger. He's
strong.
He was ill-advised, actually. But
yes, ill-advised, but came out okay. But man, the kid is strong.
He got away with it. Buffs almost jumped offside. They get back. Plenty of time on the play clock here as Tessier signals his team, moves Byers to his right. Now he's back to pass. Looking downfield, and he's got a man open at the 35, but he's wrapped up quickly. Nice tackle in relatively open field there by Lair. Joshua Lair was able to make the tackle. Only a gain of about 2 on a short pass from Tessier to his receiver. I don't remember. I think it was number 12 who received that ball. We got 2 number 12s on our roster, as we mentioned earlier in the first half, Burden or Hall.
Hey, Feast is back to receive the punt. Maybe he scored. He opened the scoring in this game.
Yes. He's waiting on his 25-yard line. Here's the kick. It's a line drive, low spiral, unbelievably low. Fielded at the 20, up the left side, weaving his way and hit hard at the 32, but still on his feet. Feast's doing a great job of running hard there. That ball get above 10 feet. That was an amazingly low kick, a spiral.
I would like to confirm what you said, but I was watching the punter, and I was seeing it was just very slight contact, and I think Ronnie Morgan, the referee, used very good judgment. It really didn't call for throwing a flag.
Not enough to make the crowd on the far side were not happy. They thought that there should have been a call, and they didn't get it, though. 3 receivers to the right now for Davis. Man in motion, comes across as Wortham, fakes the handoff. He finds nothing up the middle. And this man who's been making a lot of tackles earlier in the game, Chase Brown, in there again. He's that middle linebacker for the Lions. He's had a good game so far. He drops Davis for a loss of 3. He faked the jet sweep. He tried to go up the middle, and there was about 3 of the Lions ready to make the tackle, and then Chase Brown came in and delivered the final punctuation to make that tackle. 2 receivers on both sides. Davis waves a man across now behind him. Passed behind the line of scrimmage. It's complete. To the 30, 35, still going, weaving, now across the 40, close to a first down. I believe it is a first down as Ferguson makes the catch.
You know what that is?
That's an Archer. What is it?
It's a first down. Think of
Tire and
First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com.
I started off poorly on that one, Roger. Sorry about that. It's Davis now after that big reception of a 13 yards. Actually, it was more than 13. He got 13 plus. Fakes the pass to the right. Now he sees nobody there. He goes up the middle. It's Davis. He's got room. He's to the 45 and close to midfield. Still moving the pile for the first down. The last 3 yards were just pure power. That's another first down, Roger.
Yes, and you should think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com.
We couldn't get any of those in the first half. It was going so fast, Roger. I felt like I was in a track meet at halftime. I had to take a break because it was fast and furious as both teams go fast, no huddles. And here they are again. Davis has got 2 backs flanking him. It's a middle screen, bobbled, caught, and it's going to be a gain of about 5 yards. That was almost potential disaster.
Jacoby Banks, he managed to bobble it and gather it in, but by the time he did, he was running into the back of one of his linemen.
And it's a good thing
who was going to set that screen.
Right, it's a good thing he touched it first because it would have been an illegal touch, I believe, if a lineman would have touched it first.
Illegal touching sounds like something you can do. You can litigate about.
Well, okay. Second down and 5. Handoff, Wortham. Right side, not much there. And he's tackled at about the 41. It'll be 3rd down and 3 for the Buffaloes, for the Buffs. 8 minutes to play here, third quarter. They have a 20-point lead, 35-15. They led 28-0, then 28-7, 35-7. And then Lake Creek with a late touchdown in the first half, plus the 2-point play, were able to get to the 15. Now the Buffs taking their time here. That play clock has rarely gotten down to 10 seconds, and it's about there right now. 3 receivers left. Davis waiting for that snap, fakes a handoff. Now it's going to be a quarterback draw. Looks like now he passes it quick, complete to Banks. 35, inside the 30 to about the 27. First down, Buffs.
That's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. We didn't get that done at all in the first half, so we got to do it a lot in the second half.
Rogers doing a great job. It looked like Davis was actually going to run a run like a quarterback draw. Then he pulled up, stopped, saw Banks open, and then he hit him, and then Banks again does the rest with his great running after the catch. I wonder how many yards this year he has after the catch. It's amazing how he glides down the field. 27-yard line. 1st and 10 Buffs. Man in motion. Fakes the handoff. He's going to be sacked, I think. Oh, he tried to get rid of it late, but he thought better of it and just ate the ball at the 38-yard line. Good job.
Not literally. He didn't literally eat the ball.
What's that?
He didn't literally eat the ball.
Well, he did. Well, thank you, Roger. Thank you for clarifying that. No, he thought about possibly getting rid of it as he was in the grasp there. And oftentimes when you do that, it turns into a disastrous play. And what do they say sometimes? A sack can maybe be the best thing you do in certain situations. At least you keep the ball.
Yes.
Second
You can
down.
have your football and eat it too if you take the sack.
Right. 2nd and 21. Davis rolls to his left, looking down. He's got a man open. It's Banks again. Inside the 25. He's close to he's near a first down. He's not right there, but he got a lot of that yardage back that they lost, and that'll bring up a 3rd and manageable now at 3rd and 7 from 2nd and 21 to 3rd and 7 is not a bad thing.
By the way, I was thinking, we did a game involving Ridge Point and Lamar where it was 14-10 at half.
And that was
the final score.
Yeah,
Not a
right.
point was scored in the second
Yeah.
half. I was wondering if it might be happening here, possibly because if weather gets really bad,
right,
it might squelch the scoring.
Well, the Buffs are not going to squelch anything right now. It's open in the end zone. Touchdown. There it is, Roger. No same score this half. It's Ferguson as Davis just lofted it over there to him, and he was open again. Ferguson, the receivers are doing an excellent job of getting open. I think I could complete a couple of these passes. Not all of them, but maybe a couple.
There are some of those passes. I remember Terry Bradshaw used to throw off his back foot and heave it up there and huge hang time, and somehow John Stallworth would be wide open when it came down. That's what we saw in that play.
Here's Diaz with the kick. His kicks have been fairly low, but they get through the upright, and it's a 42-15 lead now for Marshall with just under 6 minutes to play here in the third quarter. We're going to take a short break.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad. Grab my hand.
Wait, okay.
No, not up the stairs. We tried that last time. You can literally run through him.
It is that bad. Don't settle for just mobile. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $24.99 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and a free streaming box included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 12/21/22.
Well, that kickoff by Diaz was taken at about the 20-yard line and received by Sam Lee, who ran up the left side to about the 30. Let's see where they're going to mark it. I said the 30, but it's the 28-yard line where the Lake Creek Lions will take over. Their first series, they did not get a first down. They punted to the Buffs, and then the Buffs took it all the way down for the touchdown here in the third quarter. They lead, the Buffs do, 42-15. Here's a handoff. Left side, Byers finding nothing over there. He might have got a yard after the last bit of a lunge there.
Ty Byers. Ty. T-Y-T-Y. Ty.
Well, I have not called his first name, but yeah, Ty. Wonder how you got that name.
Maybe it's Tyrus. Tyrus? I don't know.
Here's a pass to the left, complete. That's Lee again, and his jersey was pulled out of his trousers there by Paul Lucas. Helped him make the tackle short of the first down as Tessier found his receiver to the left.
On the Lions' first possession of the third, they went 3 and out. This is a big play here.
Yeah, it's 3rd down and almost 2. Byers gets the handoff. He's going to get the first down. He's approaching the 40, and that's plenty for the first down. He's going to mark it at about the 41. Time is not on the side of Lake Creek right now. They're down 42-15. If they don't score here and then often, we're going to see the Buffs in the next round. They have not been able to stop the Buffs either, so I like the chances of the black and gold here today with the score as it is. That's 5 minutes to play here in the third. Tessier, quick pass to Lee. Got a block that's sprung him for a gain of about 8 yards. Well, not 8. It's going to be more like 6 where they mark him. He got knocked out of bounds. But a good little play for Lake Creek. The ball sitting at the 47, their own 47. No huddle again, and they're quickly ready to call the play. Tessier pump fakes. He's got a man open. He's at the 35. Still going inside the 30 where he's spun out of bounds. And I think it's number 12 again. The guy we don't know, Burton or Hall. As we said in the first half, we've got 2 number 12s on the Lake Creek roster, so we're not sure who it is. He's made a couple of nice catches, and he made one there. Ball to 28-yard line. He comes in motion again, that Burton or Hall, and Byers fights through the hole. He's still running, 25, 20. That was a solid run from Byers, running through a lot of traffic, and he's able to get close to a first down. He's going to be about 2 yards short. Lake Creek has shown some pretty good ball movement, but they haven't been able to finish some of these drives. Now we got a man down. I'm not sure if we're going to take a timeout.
Let's take a timeout.
Quick timeout. 4.5 to play, third quarter. Buffs lead 42-15.
Equitable Advisors financial professionals know the path to a fulfilling future begins with getting to know who you are and what matters to you most. They work with people as individuals. That's how they deliver on their mission, just like Nick Arevalo, CFP. Talk to your local Equitable Advisor financial professional at 281-712-8777 or visit nickarevalo.com. That's NICKAREVALO.com. Together, you and my friend Nick can plan a future that reflects all of who you are. Equitable Advisors, LLC, New York, New York, member FINRA SIPC, investment advisory through Equitable Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. CFP is a certification mark owned by the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards, Incorporated. This mark is awarded to individuals who successfully complete the CFP Board's initial and ongoing certification requirements.
Back at Del Mar, Lake Creek has a 2nd and 2, hand off to Byers, left side. He's got the first down. He's close to the 15-yard line. We're thinking it was Kyler Burton who was a man hurt on that last play. That's what the PA man said, so we're going to go with Kyler Burton. He did walk off. He might find him back on the field later in the game. We'll see how that goes for him. First down at the 16-yard line for the Lions, trying to answer the Buffs score here in the third quarter. Tessier just taking it himself inside the 15 where he's manhandled and brought down by Lair. In there also was Sample to kind of guide him for the tackle there. It's a 2-yard gain though. 2nd down and 8 for the Lions with 3:50 to play here. Third quarter where the Buffs have really had command most of this game here. Here's a pass to the right, deflected. Nice play there by Guillory, I'm sorry. Guillory. Kai, I think it's Kai, K-Y.
Kai, yes.
Kai Guillory. Well, a nice play, got the hand in there on the deflection. The pass was a pretty good pass, but better defense.
Guillory as in Sir Edmund Hillary.
3rd and 8, here's Tessier, right, left side, almost intercepted and knocked down again. This time it's Lair.
Lair has a pick
defense
already. He could have had his 2nd pick of the game.
And looks like they're going to try for a field goal here.
Yeah.
It's, let's see, 42-18 would get into within 20, let's see, my math is bad here.
They're up by 27, the Buffs are.
Well, they're getting within 24, and that's
and make it a 3-score game.
Yeah, I guess they could do 2-point plays each time. It's a 32-yard field goal attempt from Abbott, the right footer. Hold is by Matchett, and the kick is up. It is good. I saw the referees look at each other, nod yes, and it's good. 42-18, 3.5 to play, third quarter.
First Tire and Automotive heard you were starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $20 off brake pad service. Since you will be traveling more, check out the back on the road fluid check specials and tire specials. Yes, First Tire Automotive has those too. Your holiday savings start now. Check out the website firsttireauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireauto.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
We are back here at Del Mar. Roger Smith along with Patrick Kinnick bringing you this third round playoff game between the Marshall Buffs and the Lake Creek Lions. And the Buffs have the commanding 42-18 lead. We have a timeout. Roger, are we taking some more sponsor breaks, or do you got some scores for us?
I think I want to just pull up some scores. So tap
Roger
dance there for about 10
pull up
seconds.
some scores, see what we got for some updates here. And right now, it's looking like the Buffs are going to go on to the next round. And maybe at some point we can speculate about that a little bit. You got anything over there, Roger?
The Lago Vista Vikings lead the Jeronimo Navarro Panthers 10-0 at halftime. I have no idea what classification that's in.
But you said it very well.
Oh, thank you. C.E. King has opened up a 2-touchdown lead on your Hightower Hurricanes. 8:23 to go in the third. It's C.E. King 28-14 over Hightower.
Still time for Hightower.
Halftime, Alamo Heights out of San Antonio still leading Liberty Hill 9-3. Liberty Hill made it to the state finals last year and lost to South Oak Cliff.
Do you have the Fulcher score?
Not yet.
Okay.
I will say that Katy leads Summer Creek 21-0. 9:07 to go in the first half. That's a Division II game at 6A.
We might have an onside kick here, Roger. I hate to interrupt you.
That's
here
fine.
Comes the onside kick. It's going to be fielded by Lake Creek. I believe he got it just inside the boundary.
Well,
oh, my goodness. That ball just kept rolling. Nobody went and got it because it hadn't gone 10 yards. Sometimes I think it's better just to go get it, even if it hasn't gone 10 yards.
Yeah, and it was just a great execution because I think 2 or 3 Lake Creek Lions were assigned to knock the Marshall guys back, and I didn't see who recovered it. Did you?
I didn't see the recovery, man.
But it was perfect right before the sideline.
And, of course, right on the sideline of the Lake Creek fans, and they were very happy about that play. Tessier back to pass. Down the sidelines. It's incomplete as Byers looked like he was kind of lost his balance a little bit. Couldn't quite get his hands up to make the catch. It was not a bad pass.
He was a little engaged, a little incidental contact with William Mitchell. No flag.
Mitchell had good coverage.
By the way, Cinco Ranch and North Shore are tied at 7 after 1 quarter.
Are you surprised by that, Roger?
A little bit, yeah.
Second down and 10 now for Lake Creek from the 49-yard line of the Buffs. They're trying to take advantage of that onside kick they just got. Buffs trying to snuff it here. Tessier back to pass. He's going to be sacked. It's a big loss. What a play by Chapman. Coming on in there. He's sacked him at the 42-yard line. That's a loss of 9. Just what the Buffs needed there. Wow, he came in there fast. Tessier had no chance at all. No chance at all to even kind of gather himself as Chapman was on top of him early. It's third down and about 20 to go here. 19. Tessier back to pass. Got a man deep. It's going to be overthrown and out of bounds. And so that onside kick does not yield anything for Lake Creek. They're going to have to punt the ball now. The only thing that did was took some time off the clock. Roger, you got some more scores for us.
Well, you asked for, ask and you shall receive.
Yes, seek and
knock
you'll find.
and the door shall be
Yes.
opened unto you. Smithson Valley leads Fulcher 28-13 with a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Smithson Valley and Fulcher. It's Smithson Valley on top, 28-13.
Time's running out for the Fulcher team. Here's the punt. Spiraling, but a little bit short. lands around the 30, and one of the Buffs has to get out of there, and he does a good job of getting out of there. That's Guillory. Ball almost touched him in the foot there, but he heard a lot from the sidelines. Get away, get away. We got some more over here, Roger.
I think that's the only one that I need to give you at this point. There's several games that
some more.
Well, I was just looking to make sure I'm not overlooking something.
Well, you do.
Looking to make sure I'm not overlooking.
You certainly don't want to overlook tonight's game, Roger. Ridge Point and
Atascocita.
Roger will have that with you for you tonight, along with Koval.
James Kovaleski.
Here's a handoff. It's going to be a nice little gain as Haynes hadn't had the ball for a while. He had a couple of early carries, and there's a good carry. He found his way through the seam and got beyond the 30. We have a Lake Creek player down. We're going to take a break, see how that's going. 42-18, Buffs lead.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad. Grab my hand.
Wait, okay.
No, now up the stairs. We tried that last time. You can literally run through him.
It is that bad. Don't settle for just mobile. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $24.99 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and a free streaming box included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 12/21/22.
And the Buffaloes are running slow on this particular play. Let the play clock run down. Pass to the left. It's complete. 45. He's still running. It's Banks again. Jacoby Banks with a quick pass to the left. Roger, they've run that play several times tonight, or this afternoon. Just a quick pass to the left or the right, and the receiver just catches it and runs.
And it is foolhardy to assume that Jacoby Banks is just going to go to the sanctuary of the sideline.
No, he did not.
Because if he can keep the play alive, he's gonna run and run and run until somebody subdues him.
Now the Buffs have smartly slowed down their pace. They're letting the play clock wind. They rarely let it wind down underneath 20 seconds. Now they're getting it underneath 10 each time. Let that clock run. It's under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Hand off. Ooh, boy, he took a hit there. That was Haynes. Tried to get through the left side, and who hit him that time? Brown. Chase Brown. We've talked about him a few times today. He's had a pretty good game. Loss of 2 for Haynes. That might be the last play of the third quarter. They do not have to run a play as the game clock is below the play clock. So they could let this thing run out, and I would think they would be wise to do that here. 42-18, the Buffs. Roger, it got a little interesting there with that late touchdown in the first half for Lake Creek, but the Buffs have been 99.3% in charge this whole game.
Yeah, very few lapses, and this is a quality Lake Creek team, so they scored a couple of touchdowns on you. You know, if that's your only sin, then you've been living right, I would say. We're done with 3 quarters, and this exclusive VypeFortBend.com presentation of playoff football is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity Mobile, the best-kept secret in wireless. By First Tire and Auto, 4 great Fort Bend County locations where you get the best prices on tires and anything your vehicle needs to run at its very best. Visit FirstTireandAuto.com. By Next Level Urgent Care, more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugar Land, Sienna, Longmeadow, Greatwood, and 4 in Katy. From owl to wow, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. By Archer Volkswagen, open since 1956 and ready to serve you. Archer Volkswagen is on Highway 59 South, just inside the Sam Houston Tollway. You'll feel like family at Archer Volkswagen. And the Needville Insurance Agency. Save hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on all kinds of insurance. Call Bradley Stavanaugh, 979-793-7411, or click NeedvilleInsurance.com.
2nd and 11 for the Buffs. Fake handoff. Davis has got it. 50, 45, 40. Out of bounds at the 35-yard line is Jordan Davis. You know what's interesting about him, and even Banks and some of the other runners, almost effortless. He just glided through there, and before you know it, he had a 10-yard gain, and he kept on going, and he ends up all the way to the 35-yard line. The Buffs, I don't want to repeat myself, but they've really made it look easy today. I mean, they look like they're, all due respect to Lake Creek, but I tell you, the Buffs look like they're almost having a scrimmage out there. They're really making things work. Hopefully they keep it going here with quads to the right now. Davis is just going to take it up the middle, run that clock, and again, plowing to the 20, 15, all the way to almost the 15 to the 16-yard line. He's just hard to bring down.
Should have been maybe
My
a 6-yard
goodness.
gain, but
Yeah.
it's a gain of 19.
He
wow.
just kept on. But look at his legs, though. Who wants any part of that?
It's like
You know?
Earl Campbell had thighs
Sure.
that were as big as the waists
Yeah.
of a lot of guys.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And he's got those big thighs.
I'm not sure how tall he is. Doesn't look that tall, Roger. I don't know.
No,
they don't have him listed in terms of height, but
He's not that tall. He's got a big butt and thick thighs. But, man, is he an effective
well, you
quarterback.
don't have to be tall to be a great football player, but I'm just saying, I was just trying to figure out how tall he is. And here's the handoff. Right side, got the 15, inside 15 to the 10. Nice move by Haynes. At the end there, he made a nice little cutback and able to get down to the 10-yard line for a 6-yard gain. And we're just putting icing on the cake right now, Roger, as they approach another score here.
By the way, I see a guy wearing a Marshall top and a Jack Yates high school cap.
That's interesting.
That's
Yates High
mixed
School.
loyalties.
They had some good basketball teams a few years ago, didn't
Well,
they?
yeah.
Where they ran up scores.
Yeah.
They just pounded people. Got two backs to his right and left. Here's Wortham now, left side to the 5. He's got a first down. First and goal for the Buffs.
By the way, you know who Rick Riley is, right?
I've heard of the name.
Sports Illustrated writer. He would do that last article in the magazine. It would say the point after, I think.
Okay.
And one time he said that Tony Wise, who was the Jack Yates basketball coach, he is to sportsmanship what a tsunami is to beach chairs.
Yeah.
I thought it was brilliant writing.
Well, you could argue a few things on that one, I'm sure. Here's a handoff. Wortham's going to get a carry. Inside the 5, touchdown as he skipped over one of the tacklers and tiptoed into the end zone for another touchdown. And the Buffs are pouring it on, 48-18. And it's been a happy day here on the black and gold side of the stadium today.
And by the way, the folks at Montgomery Lake Creek should be proud of their team. They've
Absolutely.
had a fantastic season, but it's just so depressing when you really felt like you were a strong team and you just get manhandled the way the Buffs have handled them today.
Ran into a buzzsaw, as they say. Here's a kick, another low one. It might have been tipped. I think it was tipped. And this time it's no good. But that still keeps the score at 48-18 Buffs. We'll be back after this.
First Tire and Automotive heard you were starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $20 off brake pad service. Since you will be traveling more, check out the back on the road fluid check specials and tire specials. Yes, First Tire and Automotive has those too. Your holiday savings start now. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Well, Roger, we're back here at Del Mar Stadium, and we have to say a really big thank you to our PA man here at the stadium, Del Mar Stadium, who has announced, what do you call that? He promotes our announcing.
We
these
give him a
games.
little script to tell everybody in the stadium that they can listen on VypeFortBend.com, and also that we have the game between Ridge Point and Atascocita tonight.
Roger's going to get there in plenty of time, hopefully, and get everything set up. Here's the kick. Lands on the 15, fielded by Byers. He's at the 30, penalty marker on the play up to the 50-yard line. I think this might be coming back as there was another penalty marker at the 40. Maybe it was offside on the kick. And then another one flew in there. Where did I see the other one, Roger? They already pick it up? I thought I saw one fly in there into the pile, but I don't see it right now.
By the way, I want to say a shout out, first of all, to my dear friend Yvonne. She is listening in Missouri City today, and that's, the Buffs could be the kings of Missouri City if they can capture a state championship. And so I want to say a shout out to Reginald Willis, number 55. Number 55, I see him down there on crutches, and he is unable to follow the championship road with his teammates. I mean, he'll go to the games, but he's not going to be able to play. And also Trent Thomas, also injured. So it's just a shame when the Buffs can't be at full strength. But
I think we have offsetting penalties here. I think it was offside Buffs, and I think there was a hold on the return. So they're going to redo it. And, yes, anytime one of the ball players from any team gets hurt throughout the season, it's just hard to watch, especially if they're seniors.
Oh, both of them are, too.
It's just really hard. To be honest with you, I experienced that myself my senior year, and it is not easy to watch because it's really once in a lifetime. Most of these guys won't be playing beyond this. Some will, but
I had a nagging injury during my senior year as well. Not that my team suffered very much because of it, but
come on, Roger.
No,
Roger was the starting quarterback. Nothing.
Well,
no big deal.
Only for a couple of games.
Oh, there you go. We're going to redo the kick, and here's Diaz's kick. Same type of kick. Right at the 15, and Lee's got it. He's going to try the left side again. He's got the 25. He's met and knocked out of bounds. Gently that time, he was knocked out of bounds. And the ball will be at the 27-yard line. This one is pretty much not in doubt. It's the final score we're looking for now. It's 48-14.
48-18.
What did I say?
48-14. It's
I meant 18.
48-18, yes.
48-18.
It's an
Thank
even
you, Roger.
30-point spread.
Yeah, we got easy math on that number. And Lake Creek now for pride, trying to have a good drive here. Here's a handoff to Byers up the middle where there's a big pile of guys still pushing and shoving there. Ends up being a 2-yard gain.
You
That's
use
your
the word
play.
You use the word pride. Why is it that a bunch of lions is a pride of lions? You have a flock of geese. You have a herd of antelope.
And a flock of seagulls.
Yes, and I ran so far away.
I ran. Here's a handoff to Byers, left side. He's going to be corralled at the 30, but he's got those legs moving, and he's got all the way to the 33-yard line. And Byers, I've been impressed with him. He's a strong runner. He's got strong legs as well, and he doesn't stop fighting either. You wouldn't expect him to stop fighting.
He looks like a running back. Keith Byers out of Ohio State, played for the Eagles. Very similar body type.
Yeah.
Kind of short, very strong, barrel-chested.
3rd and 4. Now Tessier passes over the outstretched hands of his receiver. That was Sam Lee. He was covered well. The pass was just errant. And it looks like Lake Creek's going to try to go for it here from their own 33, down, as Roger said, by an even 30. 48-18. I got it right this time. 8:11 to play. And the Buffs are moving on, Roger. And at some point here in this little end of the game, perhaps you can tell us possible scenarios. I guess you probably don't know when they would play. Here's a handoff to Byers on 4th down, and he is just swallowed up, as they say.
Logan Granville.
Nice play there, and Lake Creek turns it over on downs. That just kind of a curious play call on 4th and 4. But do you have any idea maybe when the game would be, their next round?
When I talked to Coach Williams on Wednesday, he didn't know what the arrangement would be. So
but we know who they play, either
Port Neches Groves or Brenham.
Okay. And
I'm thinking if it was Brenham, let's say Brenham beats PNG.
Right.
Waller would be a very good place to play the game, or Prairie View.
Somewhere up in that area.
Yeah, those would be good.
Port Neches Grove, where would you speculate that? Somewhere on the east side, maybe? Here's the pass to the right. Complete. and he's still moving. That's Benton.
By the way,
Larry
Benton, I love to say this, Larry Benton stopped on a dime and left a nickel change, and then he put it back into high gear.
He sure did.
Got it to the 19.
So let's see. So the game, is it likelihood to be a Saturday maybe? Probably?
Possibly, yeah.
I'm just speculating here, so I'm just throwing these things out. And Roger, I'm expecting him to know the answers, and he doesn't. And he's being very polite to not tell me to just stop asking those questions. Here's a handoff up the middle. A 2-yard gain. I'm trying to see who that is.
I think it's a running back number 85, and you don't see that very often.
Yeah, we haven't seen him run. It's Kirkland, George Kirkland, a wide receiver on the roster who got a carry that time.
And he's just a sophomore.
Yep.
He and Andre Feast are both very talented, and right now are receivers, both sophomores.
That's good for the future to have. It's good to have good balance, good senior leadership, and then some guys knocking on the door for the next couple of years as the Buffs again. The first half, we could not keep up with their plays. They were running them snap of the finger, and we just couldn't keep up, and now they're slowing it down, obviously, with the big lead. And there's going to be a timeout, I believe. There was a little confusion in the backfield there.
Yeah, there was some confusion, and they did get the timeout called before there was a flag because I noticed that Kirkland was kind of moving side to side. He really wasn't sure where he should be lined up.
I think he was a little confused where he should be, and Davis was trying to get him in the right position, and there was movement as the snap was happening. They called a timeout before that to save the yardage, the penalty yardage. Do we?
Now let's just keep it here. There's something I wanted to say, but I got to send my man, our producer extraordinaire, Merle Bertrand, a little message.
Well, the ball's sitting at the 17-yard line. We got 6:39 to play here in the ball game. The Buffs on top 48-18. And as I said a couple of moments ago, they've been in charge virtually the whole way.
Okay, since we have a little bit of time to chat here, all right, whenever you think of a team blowing a big lead, who's the first team you think of?
Well, you think of the Houston Oilers.
Exactly,
right?
Losing to the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
And because of the Buffalo Bills and what happened back in January of 1993, I'm thinking of what happened yesterday, a game involving the Buffalo Bills. And do you know what I'm talking about?
I didn't see much of it. No, I didn't see much of that game.
Okay, well.
You'll have to get to that.
Yes.
As it's a second down and 7 yards to go for the Buffs. Fake handoff. And into the end zone they go. Touchdown!
Banks!
Jacoby Banks. He was, look at him down there.
He jumped over the cinder block wall.
Yeah, his momentum took him beyond the wall. And thank you for being healthy and safe coming off that. I guess he kind of rolled over the wall or leapt over the wall. I'm not sure. I didn't see it, but I did see him hold up his fist.
He saluted everybody. By the way,
he comes back to hold for the snap. Or for the
you can't help but believe that the grass at the bottom of that slope behind the wall is very, very muddy and damp and nasty.
And Diaz kicks the extra point through to make it 55-18.
We'll take a break,
take a short break.
I'll talk about the travesty that occurred yesterday during the first Thanksgiving Day NFL game.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Next Level Urgent Care supports Fort Bend County sports and supports you whenever you're hurting. Next Level is here for the community, open 7 days a week, 9 till 9, for you and your family at more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugarland, Sienna, Greatwood, Longmeadow, and 4 in Katy. From ow to wow, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. And if you're short on time, Next Level has an app to get you in line right away. Just text NLUC APP to 313131 for Next Level Urgent Care.
Del Mar Stadium. Roger Smith and Patrick Kinnick here, bringing you the finale of the Marshall Buffs blowout win here as the kickoff is taken around on the 15-yard line, run out to about the 35, where the Buffs tackle the runner there. I believe it was McGee again. Roger, I'm going to ask you a question, see if you can figure this one out. Besides the football players, who are the 4 most tired people in this stadium?
The chain gang. No.
Incorrect.
The videographers from the local television stations.
Let's do this play, and I'll tell you who the 4 most tired people are besides the football players on the field right now. Here's a new quarterback in the ball game. It's back to pass. Man open across the middle, a little contact. It's going to be an interference call as the quarterback is now Marcus. Is that right?
Yeah, Eli Morcus.
Morcus.
Rhymes with Dorcas,
Yeah,
like the lady in the Bible.
Marcus.
You remember
Morcus.
Dorcas in the Bible? Dorcas? D-O-R-C-A-S?
I'm vaguely. The 4 most tired people on the field besides the football players are the 4 flag bearers of the Buffs
yes.
who have to run the entire field after every score.
And
with
the guy
flag
that carries
flying.
the S flag couldn't make it to the game. It's gone Buff, not
the
Buffs
Buff.
each time.
Yeah, it's a handoff now. Marcus fakes it, though, and he's tackled at the 49-yard line for a loss of 1. Is that Sample again?
Sample, Jordan Sample, what a
Sample's
player.
had a really nice game today.
By the way, I was just going to say hi to the lady who is the voice of Next Level Urgent Care on our broadcasts, Sherika Swan Cole. She is the assistant nurse at the school where I teach. She has a very wonderful, gentle, soothing voice and a very soothing way about taking care of kids in the clinic
Well, very good.
at our school.
Yes.
She doesn't work for Next Level Urgent Care.
Marcus back to pass, flush out of the pocket, and he's going to gain about a yard there to avoid a sack.
Okay, Patrick.
What do you got, Roger?
All right, so the Detroit Lions.
He's been waiting to say this. Come on, Roger, give it to us.
So I'm at my in-laws, the wonderful Arnolds of Clear
Yesterday?
Lake City. Yes.
Yesterday, Thanksgiving
And so
Day.
with 23 seconds to go in the game, the Lions
that's right.
kicked a field goal to
Yeah.
tie the game at 25.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hold that thought.
And then how did they let him score the
Oh,
winning field
now
goal?
they're pausing. Meaning the Lake Creek Lions, not the Detroit Lions.
Clock is at 5:06. Marcus has the snap, 3rd and 9. Looking downfield, he's flushed out of the pocket. Ball comes loose, but he gets on it himself as big number 52, Randalls, was right there, almost ready to make that recovery as well. 4th down and 13. Roger, 23 seconds
Well,
left in the game.
Tessier fumbled earlier attempting to pass, and he recovered his own fumble. And Marcus just did it
And
for
they've
himself, and they're
decided
going to
to
punt
punt.
now. Okay, so
Lions
so
tie
there's
the game.
23 seconds left in regulation, and we're all thinking, can the Bills get in position to kick a field goal and win the game in regulation, or would it go to overtime? We're thinking this will be exciting to see in overtime, possibly. Here's the punt.
We were thinking it was going to be overtime at our gathering. Here's the punt now. And it's punted over there by
it's a terrible punt.
Matchett, and he didn't get all that one.
He sliced it off the heel of the club.
Yeah, that's about the way it's been going for Lake Creek today. That kind of signifies their game today. Anyway,
Okay.
23 seconds to
All
play.
right, so and then
the Bills, are they going to
So
score?
we're sitting there waiting for the commercial break to end, and then they go to this Channel 11 meteorologist
Oh, that's
who
right.
says there's a hurricane
Yeah.
in Manville, and he talks about it for 15 minutes, and we
missed
don't
it.
see
That's why
Josh Allen lead the Bills into field goal position and score as
Yeah.
time expires
I remember
to win the game.
I remember now why we didn't see it because that came on. Yeah, I forgot about that. I
And
think
you
there was
know
some
I have a
tornado
good friend
warnings.
named Mr. Mack, and his favorite team is the Buffalo Bills, but he was in Buffalo visiting relatives. He got to see it.
Wow.
He got to see it. They didn't interrupt anything for a hurricane on Buffalo's
Right, of course not.
CBS affiliate.
They might have had interruption for a winter storm warning or something. Here's a handoff. That looks like Kirkland again, number 85. He's came in the last series and got a carry or two, and he got another one there for 5 yards.
Oh, by the way, you probably can guess this, but if you work at a television station, the weather guy thinks he needs to break into programming all the time.
Well, is it the weather guy who breaks in?
No,
or
it's
is it the
usually
producer?
his decision.
Really?
Usually his decision.
Well, you would know. You've been there.
Yeah. So
So they got a lot of power. Buffs are in a very tight formation, meaning they're just going to run the ball here. Hand off. Number 23 now has it. That's Howard.
Gerard
Howard Jr. He gets a carry, a little bit of a feel for the pigskin here today.
Okay, by the way, in 1988, I was working for a television station in San Angelo. I was the sports director. And
now look
this
where
guy
you've come.
named Jim was the meteorologist and the weather guy. And so I'm sitting at home on a Saturday watching Clemson play Florida State. Florida State is the road team. I think they were down with about 2 minutes to go, and they go into punt formation, and it's a fake punt.
Yes.
And a Florida State player, hold on, describe this play by the Buffs.
are running their play here, 3rd and 4. Hand off. That
Short.
is to Howard again, and he got a couple yards, but he's going to be about 2 or 3 yards short of the first down with under 2.5 to play here in the ball game.
Okay,
Finish
so
that story
Florida
for us.
State runs this fake punt. It's very clever the way they kind of hid the ball, and the next thing you know, their punter or somebody is running down the field. He's like 30 yards down the field. And right then in the middle of that play, our weather guy cuts into programming to talk about severe weather somewhere.
Oh boy. Are you saying
My
are
head
you saying
almost
that
exploded.
weather is more important than
I'm saying it's not. Well, you got to gauge how big of a weather thing is
Right.
it.
You gotta be,
depends on how widespread it is.
timeout Buffaloes.
So let's just keep it right here because we got
149 to play.
149, yeah.
55-18. They lead
So
Lake Creek.
I'm just thinking, all right, I love people in Manville. I really do. But I just wonder how many people is it actually affecting? And if so,
well,
if it's a small enough number, you don't need to break into programming. You don't need to miss the last 23 seconds of regulation in a thrilling game.
You know, they have something nowadays where you can, which wouldn't have been probably necessarily back in the day when you were doing your stuff, but they got this thing on there where you can actually scroll something. You
Yeah.
can put the words across there. You can even put a little beep, beep, beep in there to make sure they can pay attention to it.
Tornado warning in Manville.
Rather
Details
than
at
have the
6
guy
o'clock.
stand on there with the
Yeah.
You could do that maybe after the game or something, but maybe when we run a television station next time, we'll be able to make those.
I ain't
going to
run no television station.
Here's a snap for a punt. First punt of the ball game, I believe, for the Buffs. Fair catch called for at the 23-yard line and made, and the punt was made there by Larry Benton.
Yeah,
A
good
fairly
job,
punt.
Larry. Got it out of there. Just take a couple of real quick steps and get it airborne.
Now, the question is, what will Lake Creek do? It seems like you ought to just hand it off here and let the clock run, but maybe they won't. Buffs are going to move along to the next round. It'll be round 4. It'll be next week sometime, and as soon as we know.
Brenham or PNG. And if it is PNG, they got to be careful.
Yes, sir.
When you have spanked a team really good
Yes, sir.
during district play and you meet them again,
Yep.
you don't want to go in overconfident.
And they are always well represented. A lot of enthusiasm for PNG, and that would be quite a game. I think the Buffs are going to be ready for it, though, the way they look out here today. Here's a handoff up the middle. It's Byers again. He shows his toughness again as he works his way for a 5-yard gain. A minute 25 to play.
Hey, Byers, just a sophomore.
Now that is
that
hard to
kid's
believe.
good. He's going to be
Oh,
really, really strong. He'll be an outstanding player for the next 2 years.
They got a new man in there now. It's number 20, Nazaradin. The run there by Marcus. He had to get himself out of the pocket. He's tackled there by Randalls again. He's been well represented on the field today with his effort. Under a minute to play, Roger. I think you're going to get to your next game in good time. Thanks to the Buffs for making this a quick game for us. It's actually one of the quicker games we've had all year, really.
It certainly was.
It's 35 seconds to play. This ought to be the last play of the game. I think the players will line up at the 50 here for their sportsmanship handshakes. I can't see running another play here. 20
it
seconds
would be
to play.
silly to run another play here.
They're lined up as if they might, but it's 4th down and long, and there's nothing you can do here. Clock's going to wind down. That's going to be it.
By the way, I will say I'm very proud of both teams that as the score got out of hand and the clock now runs down to 3, 2, 1, 0, and neither side got chippy and started with a pushing and shoving and jawing.
I think there was good respect on both sides, and congratulations to the Marshall Buffs. They're going on to the 4th round. I like what I see, and I really, really like their chances, not only to get to the big place, but to bring home some gold here this year. Buffs win 55-18 over Lake Creek, who came into the game undefeated, and the Buffs certainly flexed their muscles today.
Yes. As a broadcaster, I've had several opportunities to go to state championship competition. Only one time have I come home happy. 2019, the Fulshire girls won the state 4A volleyball championship. They didn't even really know who I was, so it was not of great benefit. Since then, there's a great relationship with the Fulshire folks, but I still am waiting for the next time where I get to go home happy.
I submit to you right now on, what is this, November 25th.
Yep. What do you say?
I submit that you have a great chance to have that feeling with the Marshall Buffs. Let's keep it rolling.
And by the way, one thing that's just so wonderful about Coach Williams, you know, I feel like we owe him. We are very lucky to get to cover his outstanding team. But every time we ever do an interview with him, he says, thank you for having me on. Thank you for broadcasting our game. Thank you. And he also distributes our message to the Marshall fan base. Whenever we say we're doing a game, and by the way, Jacoby Banks can do backflips, and so can Larry Benton. That might come in handy someday.
Celebratory flips for the victory. Yes, and it says a lot about the coach for the Buffs, that he has such a humble attitude, and James Williams doing a great job with his team, and it'd be nice to see a guy like that, a team like this, come out of here this season with, like I said, the big prize.
And by the way, Patrick, as we speak, move your beverage bottle there. Right as the game ends and the players are walking off the field, we start to see big old raindrops fall.
Yeah, came just.
So let's close the
just in
gate
time.
or close the window. Why did I say gate? I don't know why I said that.
Oh,
something fell off of the window sill.
Well, everybody wants.
Whatever.
Well, have a good evening, Roger. Good luck with your game tonight. Don't forget to listen to Ridgepoint, Atascocita, Roger and Kovo.
That's right, and 6:40 p.m. with the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show. So Patrick and I say goodbye, sounding like we're in a laundry room because we closed the window. Rain is a-comin'. And the Buffs are winners today, 55-18 over Lake Creek. I thank Merle Bertrand for being inside the mothership at Vype World headquarters, and also Rosie Bega, who was, I guess, effectively on standby. And we will come your way at 6:40 p.m., getting ready for Ridgepoint and Atascocita, two teams that have seen each other in the playoffs in the third round the last 2 years. In 2020, Ridgepoint beat them. In 2021, that was last year, Atascocita won. So we'll see how it goes. But we know that we will have at least one Fort Bend County team going on to the next round. This is VypeFortBend.com, your broadcast home for Fort Bend County High School sports. It is always free to listen live or listen later on the podcast at VypeFortBend.com. For Patrick Kinnick and the whole crew, Roger Smith saying goodbye from Del Mar Stadium, and we'll talk to you from the Berry Center at Cy-Fair ISD in, I don't know, what'll it be, like 2 hours. We'll be back.